share the live stream link to anyone, and they do not have to have a Facebook account to view the link. So
Where did she go?
Yeah, I don't know. Something must have happened.
Yeah.
Guess we'll give it a few minutes and see if she pops back on.
You guys can hear me all right, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Good to have you.
Thank you. I just happened to turn on a Zoom show yesterday and it said I didn't have no microphone detected. And I just happened to try it. And so I called up the Geek Squad and it took a long time, but they fixed it.
Yeah, wow.
If I hadn't done that, just happened to do that yesterday, I wouldn't have known today.
Well, good. I'm glad it got worked out.
Yeah. Now, wasn't there a first 15 already and they had a reading in March? How did I get on the... So how did I get on the first 15? I thought that was already done.
We had our Meet the Poets in March, and then one of the poets can no longer be a part of this launch, so now you are our 15th poet.
One of them dropped out?
Yes.
Oh.
So we were 14, and then you came on to complete.
I thought I had missed it because I was in Mexico. I was sick, and my computer died. I didn't have a computer for a month, and I missed.
It was meant to be that you were part of our launch.
Yeah. So I hadn't finished my manuscript before. I just turned it in yesterday. Actually.
Yeah.
All
just
right.
so everybody knows we're still live. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is.
Day.
You're back.
Go. Oh, happy day. I love let's bring adversity. Adversity, give me what you got, because we're going to crush you. All right. So tech sucks sometimes, in this world of tech. But hey, we're here. That's all that matters. You're here. That's all that matters.
Marissa, are you recording again? Because it had said the recording stopped.
I'll go ahead and press that button again. All right, so looks like we're still live, so woohoo! Yay for that. I'm gonna go ahead and hit record. There we go. All right, welcome everyone to the Red or Green Books, co-hosted by The Word Is Right, our read-a-thon of our Fierce 15 poets. And let me update my name here real quick. Would anyone like to be co-host in case that happens again? You can take over the room, take over controls, and keep an eye on the room for me. Anyone? No one? Okay. All right. All right, Sophia can. All right. Sophia,
I can too.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Cool. All right, so here we go. Welcome everyone to the Red or Green Books read-a-thon of the Fierce 15 Poets. I'm so honored to hang on. Now my family's decided to leave a little late this morning. So they're supposed to be out, but they're on their way out. All right, if you have not been to the press yet, please do so. Readorgreenbooks.com. Read is R-E-A-D. You can see the original 10 poets we launched in 2021, the next 10 poets we launched in 2021, and of course our Fierce 15 who are here today. A little bit about myself and about the press so you can kind of understand how this came about. So my name is Marissa Prada. I am from Albuquerque, Albuquerque, New Mexico, born and raised here in the Southwestern United States. My undergrad is in agriculture and animal science. I actually wanted to be a veterinarian, but after an almost tragic work accident, I really changed my life's plans, but writing was always a part of everything that got me through life. I've been writing for 30 years, poetry, short stories, essays, novels, screenplays, you name it, it's happened. So it's a lot of fun. When I came back to writing poetry, I was going to a Meet the Publisher event here in Albuquerque and trying to figure out how to get my book published, and realized that there really were no avenues, or not very many avenues for poetry. So I started looking at all of the work that I had, and I would have had to go to 4 different publishing houses to get all of my work done. And I didn't want to pay an agent a lot of money to find me the right places. And I didn't really want to lose the credibility of publishing and go the self-publishing route. Plus it was incredibly expensive. And I didn't really want to pimp myself out to the large online retailers of books. So I said, well, you know, if I'm looking for a publisher, maybe there's other people as well. And COVID hit, and then the world kind of opened up online, and we all connected. And through meeting so many poets online, I realized there are so many who have never had the opportunity to publish. They don't have the funds to publish, or they don't have the resources or the knowledge or the experience to publish, or they're just so many submissions. How in the world can you ever get ahead? So myself, Sarah Bella Mental, and Ma Dukes got together and we said, well, let's publish our books. So I started looking into what it would take to do that. And I realized that the magic number was 10. And we started with the original 10 poets here at Red Green Books, and we published in groups of 10. I'm a big believer that if we do something together, it's so much better. You have the support, you have the know-how, you have your networking is amplified when you're doing it in a group. So that has been the recipe for success at this press anyway, is to launch in groups of poets. And then I figure, well, let's focus on the debut authors and the debut collections, because those are typically people who have been overlooked, marginalized, stigmatized. And we really do pride ourselves on being a female forward press, where the majority of manuscripts that we have done are from women. And also the majority of the books that we have published are from people of color. So I'm so excited to be able to do this, all debut authors on this launch. Another exciting fact about this launch is that we have 5 poets from outside the United States. We have a poet from Lebanon, Eddie Youssef Aziz. We have Maureen Medina from Portugal. She's American born, but she lives in Portugal. We have The Lantern Carrier and Gary Huskisson in the UK. And of course, we have Kimberly Anderson in South Africa. So it is just so phenomenal to be a part of this journey. And I thank you all for being here and supporting these lovely poets. You'll hear them read today. We're also going to debut the artwork for the covers. I have not even seen all the covers yet, you guys. It's like Christmas morning for me. I'm so excited. I have not seen all the covers. Very, very excited. All right, so some announcements for the upcoming events. We have the very first LGBTQ anthology for the press is launching this summer. It is titled Out Loud. That is assembled by our very own Elizabeth Sophia Strauss, who is in the building today. The book is phenomenal. The cover art has been completed. We're going to debut the cover art for that as well. We have, I believe, 44 contributors to that book. It just is a sensational book. Pre-orders are going to be available starting today. The book retails at $25 US. It is a large book, and poets from the US and I believe Holland or Hungary is the other poet, international poet. So then also next is Poet Palooza. Poet Palooza is our annual event at Red Green Books, where we invite all of the authors back in one epic day of reading. So we've invited the original 10, the next 10, the Fierce 15, the women's erotic anthology poets, and the LGBTQ anthology poets have been invited to this. I believe so far there's already 20 some poets signed up to read. It'll be at least a 3-hour event. at Poet Palooza, we are going to draw the raffle. Hey, Eva, can you tip up the blinds for me real quick on the window? At Poet Palooza, we are going to be drawing our raffle. So we have a raffle going on right now at Red or Green Books for the entire collection of all 15 books. And considering there's 5 poets from outside the US, that can get quite costly with shipping and handling, going through customs. So if you want an opportunity to win the entire set of all 15 books, the raffle tickets are $5 a ticket, 5 tickets for $20, or 30 tickets for $100. All of the proceeds from the raffle are going to launch the LGBTQ anthology, as well as the men's erotic anthology later this year. So we always recycle the proceeds back into buying more books from this press. All right, if you go to the website, redorgreenbooks.com, Red is R-E-A-D. If you go to the website, the posters are up there, the events are up there. Bye guys, have a good day. Love you. Everything is available there. Red or Green Books is also on Facebook and Instagram, so you can check out the posters. We will be in New York City, September 10th and 11th for the New York City Poetry Festival. We have a tent there. These books, the Fierce 15, are launching. They're debuting in New York City. Many of the poets have signed up to read. We have 2 days of booth readings. So there are 30-minute blocks of time where the authors are going to come and read and sign books. So you do not want to miss that event. If you're in New York City, I believe even like the Lantern Carriers coming in all the way from the UK. Maureen Medina is going to be there as well. S. Putnam is traveling in from Wisconsin. Patti Orozco is traveling from Texas. I will be up there from New Mexico. It is just a phenomenal event. Shane Maynor, our cover artist from Guerrilla Poets, she's traveling up from North Carolina to go to this. So yes, it is super fun. You do not want to miss that live in-person event. I will try to stream if I can, as much as I can from that event for those who cannot make it in person. Also my book is coming out. I always forget to do this, and y'all always remind me to plug my book, and thank you, because I always forget to do stuff like this. My book is coming out this summer, Butterflies and Lies. It is a beautiful book, and in fact, Richard Temple just wrote me, and Finn Hall wrote me reviews that just made me cry. I was honored and humbled to be publishing this book. So if you're interested in any of my personal work, as well as the books from the previous poets, they're all available on the website. And last but not least, our cover artist Shane Maynor will be joining us shortly, and she will be walking us through the cover art today, and talking a little bit about her process, and talking about what it was like to do all these covers. All right, I believe there are 3 covers that she did not do from this launch, which we have to show off as well. All right, I want to do a quick roll call to make sure that I have all of the folks who are here. I have Eddie, Elizabeth Oots, Elizabeth, Sophia Strauss. Did Gary Huskisson make his way in by any chance? Gary's here. Awesome. Gary's here. We got Hill Hoover. Kimberly is I'm assuming she's still in a blackout, but she'll be here as soon as she can. Christy, the Lantern Carrier, Maureen Medina, Patti Orozco, Stephanie Eisler Vance, S. Putnam, Terry Rose Durson, and the UCP. So we're only missing MD, which is A.D. Harris and C.D. McClendon. Those 2 gentlemen are doing a father and son collaboration book titled I Do Every Day, Love Poems to Our Wives. So if you're looking for a very sweet, loving gift, anniversary, birthday, wedding gift, something like that, that book would be wonderful for you. And all right, so I'm going to defer to my poets abroad to see if, because it is, early evening there, early middle evening there. Would any of the poets who are overseas or outside of the US, do you need to go first? Just
I'd like to go early. It's my 3rd event today.
Okay.
I can stay probably 2 hours, I think, to be reasonable and fair.
Okay.
But my mind is already tired. Too much.
No problem, Lantern. So Lantern and Eddie, you'd like to go early as well?
Yes, please. It's
Okay.
already 9:30 here, and it was election day here in Lebanon, so we're all exhausted. but here we are.
I absolutely understand. All right, so we'll go. So we'll have Lantern go, and then Eddie, Maureen. If you need to go early, let me know. And Kimberly is not here, but Gary, if you need to go early, let me know as well. We'll probably go. We'll definitely go until Shane gets here. Shane will probably be here in about 30 to 40 minutes. And so I figure she will be a really good break time in the middle of everything to debut the artwork. So, and I do have lantern carriers. I believe I have lanterns. So I'll pull it up and do a screen share of Lantern's cover. Eddie, you'll have to wait for Shane to be here, but we'll definitely debut your cover here as well. All right, some ground rules. Welcome Shaki, welcome those who are coming in. Some ground rules for today. The poets, you know, you've got about 8 minutes or so to read. It's very lax here. You could take less time if you need to. I'm not going to buzz you or mute you. I'll help keep track of your time for you if you need to know how much time you have left. Just be mindful, we do have a bunch of poets to get through today, as well as the art show. If you have all the time in the world, that is great. Just stay as long as you can today. I know, Cynthia, right? I can't wait to see the cover. But yes, just please be responsible with your microphones. Please keep things muted. There are no trigger warnings. I'm going to let you know now that these poets are going to be pouring from their hearts. If they choose to put a trigger warning to their work, they may, but they are not mandated to do that. So please understand, you're most likely going to hear things that are about trauma, about abuse, about pain, about love, about joy. And so if you need to do things to take care of yourself, please do so. We champion that, but please be aware that these poets are pouring their stories into their books, okay? And so you could hear things that are that might be sensitive for you. All right, Lantern, are you, yes, Shane will be showing the cover art. She is not here at the time, but she will be here in about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we will take a break and do the art show. So we're going to start with our out of the country poets, and then we're going to go down the list in alphabetical order. And somewhere in there, when Shane arrives, we will take a break and debut the artwork. Okay. All right. The Lantern Carrier, are you ready, my friend, to take it away? And y'all remind me, please, to spotlight the speakers and to take the spotlights off of them. I'm working on trying to do this, but there's a lot happening behind the scenes here. All right. So Lantern, the floor is yours, my beautiful friend.
Okay, thank you. So what I'd like to do is to read 4 sonnets from Blossoms of the Heart, and then I'll do a separate longer piece, which is not in the book. So the 4 sonnets are in the book, 3-verse sonnets. First piece is called Chiming Praises to the Eternal. There's no pain greater than not knowing one's true self. Even a child separated from its mother longs to return home. The lamentations of loneliness, the dark fog of temptation grabs me. I long for a dispersion of clouds to transform my shadows. I yearn for the songs of nightingales, even as magnolias unfurl, my heart whispering to melodies, welcoming the dawn. Within my vessel of being, the unseen light of consciousness glistens, love cradling my dreams like canaries nestling their young. I want to love you, to kiss your soul like stars do to darkness, allowing them to emanate with splendor. I wish there were bells on their moonlight, chiming praises to the eternal, all calling out thy name. So that was one. Let's see. Okay. Love kissed my core with its effulgence. Love kissed my core with its effulgence, I was stunned by a spectacle of blazing lights. She soaked up my toxins with antidotes, tongue darting in and out like snakes. Only it was not venom, and my soul cried from the immeasurable sweetness of her bliss. Redbreast cockatiels, robins, and canaries all harmonized their melodies as one, chanting the magical concertos in my soul. I swooned inebriated, knowing it was not wine, but a quintessence of unspoken grandeur in my spirit. I saw the mystic aura of the cosmos hanging together like a ray of burning lanterns, unfolding the source of my existence to grant me peace sublime. That's 2. Number 3 is bewildered. My heart is burning with love, my core full of intensity from the fire of thy bliss. I gaze at the crescent moon, its adorable sweetness, like pure white snow, hugging the serenity of my existence. You reach down and kiss me. I suddenly ascend to the deathless joy of emptiness. Now timeless, timeless, timeless is this moment. My eagle bird dances in an ocean of sheer delight. I cascade into a ball of dazzling light, nestling in the golden coverture of thy locks, and become bewildered. Last freestyle sonnet. Love touched me. Love touched me. It was so powerful, my breath became suspended, my heart shed blissful tears. I had not previously bathed in this sweetness, and I was taken aback. In my drunken haze, I tried to comprehend its music, mesmerizing the alcove of my being. Alas, it was to no avail, for a compelling delight silenced the intellect and calmed my soul. I saw myself emanating rhythms from the majesty of the sun, a pulsating light took hold of my darkness, smashing it into a trillion fragments. I became merged in a cluster of twinkling stars. I swooned in reverie, as if inebriated with wine, intoxicated by the splendor of my eternal home. Before I read the last one, I should say that I chose sonnets, odes, sonnet odes, and freestyle sonnets for my first book. So they're basically most, if not practically all, are 14-liners. So most of the poems you've heard me do are usually 3 minutes, 2 minutes. None of them are in my first book. They will come later. So this one is a 3-minute poem called Life Struggle, marginally longer. Life colors my desires with unfulfilled expectations, resulting in struggle. I indulge my cravings, unaware that progress lies in the skirmishes I encounter. As such, I die daily in an abyss of loneliness and fear. I'm drawn to sad songs, constantly making beds for my despair, yet the same dance of light concealed within the darkness of my Pandora's box becomes the inner alchemist at the gates of my open sesame of treasures. She weaves thorns for my sorrows to salute my roses of joy, carries me in my shadows. This foggy conception of truth walks with me into the luster of moonlit rays. Sunset eventually fades, but doesn't Andromeda swallows the night with grandeur? My mind's red hot with worries, even as the glimmer of stars whispers a twinkle in my heart. I affect Mother Gaia by the vibrations that I offered to her. To the drunk, a man in trance appears inebriated, yet to the saints he's a lover, intoxicated by the bliss of paradise. The mother in labor knows only pain until she holds in her arms the most beautiful miracle of creation, life. A thorn is the harbinger of wisdom, adversity a messenger of light. Twilight may welcome my loneliness, yet dawn heralds an awakening sunrise. We are all unique dreams of love, yet struggle is necessary. The child encounters strife in crawling and walking, is burdened by wet nappies and poo. It hungers for mother's milk, yet lives spontaneously, trusting the sacrament of the present moment. In my quest for meaning, I face many challenges. For without shadows, there is no perception of light. Without the hills, there will be no valleys. Pleasure is followed by pain, and I treasure happiness only because I have experienced sorrows. I am an emperor, lost in a sea of illusions. Love, in its mercy, gives me choices, even while holding on to the cords of my limited freedom. I stray like lost sheep into the ways of ignorance until she reins me in so I can swim or bathe in the mansions of effulgent light. Never give up. We are neither shrouds nor graves, just as the light becomes brighter when the day dawns. There is a stream of living water which satiates the agony of longing, and I must drink, for my spirit will never die. The fire of the heart cannot be quelled, and the intensity of inner fulfillment still burns brightly in the soul. Hope, the songbird of perennial freedom, ever whispers her supernal songs, heralding sweet visions of tomorrows, constantly and patiently pruning the weeds of my inner garden so that my fuchsias and petunias may shine with glory. Life, for me, is full of challenges, yet as the rain of mercy permeates the soil, so too I will eventually get a bumper harvest. The dark night of the soul is only troubled by brittle chains, awaiting the messenger of the light to untie its fetters. So come, my friends, let us sing with the songbird of the eternal. Life's struggles are only snowflakes blowing in the wind. The wise see the blossoming flowers of Jerusalem, even when the shadows are dense. Give me your hands, O bevy of phoenixes. Love is eagerly awaiting to welcome us home. Lantern Carrier, thank you. I should say that obviously I've chosen inspirational, motivational, aesthetic, and metaphysical poems for my first book. It's called Blossoms of the Heart, and they're mostly sonnets, 14 lines long, or freestyle sonnets. Either Shakespearean sonnets, freestyle sonnets, odes, and freestyle and freestyle. Thank you.
Yes, yes. You guys unmute your mics, please. Give it up for our first poet today,
Lantern.
the Lantern Carrier.
Love you, Lantern.
Natita, you are amazing.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
He's here.
All right, so I'm going to share screen and I'm going to show you Lantern's cover. So I'll read, not everyone has the reviews in and not everyone has their cover completed yet, but for those who I can read a review for, I will do that. Special K, she is, we just love her. She's amazing. She writes, "Your poetry is sweetness that inclines itself to the reader's soul. It is peace and rhythm and melody all in one. Each poem read is a story and takes the listener/reader on a journey to one's own paradise or inner sanctum. It is truly a joy to hear and read your poetry." So that is what she says. Let me do a share screen real quick here so that y'all can see the beautiful cover the Lantern Carrier has. Let me see, can you guys see it yet? There we go, you should be able to see it. So that is his book, Blossoms of the Heart. It is contact Lantern Carrier, please, for the pre-orders to secure your copy. Like I said, I believe he will be stateside this fall. So if you would like to get a copy from him while he is here in the United States, please reach out to him. Lantern Carrier, what is the best way that folks can find you? As a poet, as you read today, please let people know where to find you, your social media handles, all of that, because as people watch this back, they're going to want to know.
Okay, I'll put that in.
So the Lantern Carrier Facebook and Instagram, I think, Manatita. Also, you can go to redagreenbooks.com and his bio is there under the 2022 poets, as well as all of the other poets and the links to their handles. There it is, CEECCIL@hotmail.com. That is his email. Reach out to him, please, if you are interested in his book. All right. Next up, we have Eddie Youssef Aziz from Lebanon. And of course, when Shane gets here, Eddie will make sure that she does your cover as well. And then after Eddie, I have Maureen. And then beyond that, if Shane is not here at that time, we will move to Elizabeth Oots.
Hi. So I'm Eddie. I'm joining you from Batoon in Lebanon. It is a beautiful coastal city here in Lebanon in the Middle East. And I know it's not like the cover is not here, but I do want to point out that the cover is heavily inspired by this. Oh, can you see it? Yeah. This specific cup, which is the Lebanese coffee cup. And just today I was thinking about what the book is about, technically. And as a 25-year-old, I still haven't experienced much. So I thought about it, and then I looked at the poems. And the inspiration of the poems, I do say that my religion is love. And it's in my bio, it's in one of the reviews. And not the entire book, but most of the poems in the book focus on this idea of young love and the experiences of being in love, or the ups and downs of relationships and falling in love and falling out of love, and etc. And to tie it back to this specific cup and coffee stains in general, which is the title of the book. Here in Lebanon, coffee is essential. I think it's everywhere, but specifically when all of these relationships, all of these friendships, everything that has happened over coffee cups, over these, in the morning, in the afternoon, all the time, we're having coffee using these specific cups. So there's this kind of relationship to this specific cup, which I also have like as a necklace here. So I'm going to read the first poem. One poem, technically this poem is divided in the book into several poems, and they're all titled On Death, with Fairuz playing in the background. Fairuz is the most well-known and the most famous Lebanese artist, and her music has been there since forever. She has performed all over the world. My parents listen to her, my grandparents listen to her. I listen to her every generation. She is phenomenal. I do encourage you to go and listen to Fairuz. And this poem is kind of inspired by a song of hers. And it is divided in the book to several other poems, and most of them are in English, but this one will have some parts in Arabic. Last week was tough. Lonely breezes of hot wind gently caressed my skin, stirring some leaves in and around me. Orange and brown circle me. فكرت بنقطة الشتاء اللي كانت لازم تكون عم تختلط بعرق جبيني، وما قدرت إلا إني أتمنى لو إنه الدنيا أعتم. على قليلة كان بيكون في شيء مريحني. Orange and brown circle me and my voice gets stuck in my throat. 6 p.m. just felt longer. بيقولوا فيروز وقتها للصبح بس القهوة معلش. Naked. Nothing but the nakedness of my eyes annoys the nakedness of my dreams. Nothing but Fairuz tickles my ears like nothing but blood tickles the inside of my lips. Sing. Music is all we have left. When all is gone, music is all we have left. Sing, please. Sing. I want to show you something, and it has nothing to do with the song in my ears and the ink in my veins. It has more to do with the hangovers that kept me away from you, and the heartbreaks that led to the hangovers that kept me away from you, and the nights I stayed up drinking, followed by the hangovers that kept me away from you, and our call last night, and the shots, and the hangovers, and being away from you, and the hangovers, and the hangovers, and the hangovers, and Fairuz. Sing. When all is gone, music is all we have left, so sing. Please, sing. ما كل ما يتمناه المرء يدركه، فأبى الطيب المتنبي لم ينتظر قط لغياب الشمس، ولو أدرك علاقتي مع الرياح فكان أحب الرياح كما كانت حتى ولو لم تشتهيها السفن. All right. Yeah, this is one. I'm going to perform a couple more poems, also from the book. This one is titled On Coffee Stains 2, because there are also a few poems called On Coffee Stains, and it's the title of the book, so here goes. 1. I like my coffee either too sweet with cream and sugar, or just bitter and hot, it burns my tongue. No in-betweens. Mom asks why I stay up so late, why landmines engulf my eyes, exploding at every tear set loose, why my speech plays hopscotch and keeps on missing the box it should land on, why my breath carries words I should have said a long time ago, why I no longer take my coffee too sweet with cream and sugar. 3. I called you last night. It was exactly 2:57 in the morning, and I, for some reason, expected you to pick up. Say my name with your dry mouth, hoping that the sound of my breath on the other end of the line would water it just enough for you to say, I love you one last time before I hang up. 4. I check my phone every now and then in hopes of seeing your name on the screen, but if that were to happen, statues would have told me their stories, my hands wouldn't have been a universe apart from yours, and my words wouldn't have tasted of coffee. So bitter and hot, it burns my tongue. 5. I'm afraid of flying. I mean that in a more metaphorical sense. I am afraid of flying. I'm afraid that my wings would melt and the dreams I stuck to them would spread over the open sea. 6. I don't think I have much to say except that sweet coffee has been making me sick lately. All the cream and sugar gets old and boring with time. 7. I'm kind of back to my older habits now. Waking up late, having coffee in bed, and placing my mug next to the wine glass I finished yesterday. 8. I'm back to my old habits now. Driving around the city with my headlights off, calling out names to the wind to carry into infinity. Maybe I'm trying to find someone, anyone actually, to spend the night with, someone to turn into an ashtray and watch myself burn between their lips. 9. Kathy Caruth says, the traumatic event is its future. I wish I had known that before I met you. 10. I don't like my coffee too sweet with cream and sugar anymore. Maybe bitter and hot, just enough for me to burn my tongue and remember it the next day. I still have time for one more, I guess.
Yeah, you got time for another short one.
All right. Where is it? All right, here it is. It's called On Words I Say, and it also has some words in Arabic. It's a shorter one. On Words I Say. يقبرني. Bury me. My hands are green olive leaves that have forgotten that storms aren't permanent. I let the breath out. My lips barely parted and close my eyes. My claustrophobic coffin lowered down, furthering the space between me and you, an astronomically empty void, where I whisper your name and hope that you catch my faint hum one last time. I love you. I forgot to tell you to text me when you get home. I forgot to text you good morning. I forgot to promise you that I'm okay, that now, when I look at my fingers, I no longer see them detached from my body, that now my shoulders are far away from my ears, that my sleep is deep, that my breath is no longer shaky, that I can finally dream again. I forget to tell you that language is still not sufficient to tell you I love you. Lay. night. My eyelids oscillate between wanting to watch your sleeping silhouette and wanting to bury my eyeballs in an already drowning state of drowsiness. My eyelids go from awake to awakened, from lonely to lonesome, from loving to unloved. My eyes drown themselves, grasp for one last sight, laser focused on the unimportant things. Dama, tears, I miss you. Ashok, longing, I miss you. Ashok, yearning, I miss you. Ashok, I miss you. Thank you.
Oh man, you guys, unmute your mics for Eddie. You 17.
Thank you.
I loved it.
Eddie, Super Eddie, and it's from Lebanon. One Super Eddie. There's only one Super Eddie.
Thank
Yes,
you all.
I love it hearing the native languages as well. It's so special. I met Eddie at Sidewalk Beirut, which is a group of poets who are just so phenomenal and loving and supportive, run by Mason Nasser. She's awesome. So please, I encourage all of you to get out of your comfort zones and go to an open mic where you might not know a single person, but you're all poets, right? So get out of your country, get out of your comfort zone, and go make some new friends. All right, and I do not have Eddie's cover art, but it's coming as soon as Shane gets here. We'll debut it. I have not seen it yet, so I'm like so excited. Oh wait, but that's so Shane did send me. She did send me a file with the covers, but I have not looked at it yet. So if she doesn't show up, then or whatever, if she gets detained, I'll figure out a way to pull it up. But yes, I'm excited. Let's go. We got Maureen Medina coming up next. Maureen will also be in New York City for the New York City Poetry Festival. She currently resides in Portugal. So if you would like a signed copy from her, you got to reach out to her. Oh, which means Eddie, we didn't talk about your social media handles, where people can find you, all of that stuff.
Right. Sorry. Hi. You can find me on Instagram at it's in my title here. It's Mr.Eddie.Yerwi. Mr. because I'm a teacher. Eddie Yerwi is Arabic for tells stories. So it's YARWI. Yerwi tells stories. And I recently opened an Instagram page just for the book. It's on.coffee.stains. I haven't posted anything yet. I've been busy, but I will soon start working on that.
Yes, we should probably get that put in your books too, in the final draft before we go to print. Y'all get your, if you're gonna start a website or you're gonna start an IG page specifically for your work, let's get that into the book as well so we can continue to promote you and get your work out there. All right, I got Maureen Medina and then Gary Huskisson because they're both hailing from overseas. And so the next three poets are Maureen, Gary, and then Elizabeth Oots. So let's go. Maureen Medina, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay, thank you. So I'll be reading from my upcoming book, My Fears Out Loud. And here I go. So my book, basically, it talks about my fears and mental health, healing generational trauma, and of course, about social justice issues like racism, sexism, and anthropocentrism, which is basically human supremacy. So I'll be sharing 3 pieces, which will hopefully give like an overview of what to expect when you order my book. So this first one is called For My Family. For my mother, I'd grant you freedom that etiquette never allowed for. For my father, I'd let you be a child instead of a crutch for your parents. Maybe a childhood with only the expectations of being a child would have satisfied your curiosity instead of you searching in different women. Maybe you'd find joy in your daughters instead of trying desperately for a boy to carry the same heavy load as you. For my sister, I'd make you feel seen. I'd make you feel safe, heard. When he hurt you, I would have protected you so that you wouldn't have become so entitled to hurt others as a means of protecting yourself. For my sister, I'd hold up a mirror to you so that you could feel all the love you give. I would nourish and replenish you, even as they deplete you. For my sister, I'd offer courage, movement. You have found safety in hiding, even from yourself. I would grant you the will to see yourself as you are, as you could be, as you want to be. For my sister, I would love you without condition so that you do the same for your children. And for my brother, I would break the chains that would have you repeat history. I would reach you before it's too late and love you, not for the expectations of manhood, not for salvation, not for anything you may have to offer, but for all that you deserve. The next piece is called I Remember the Miracle. Grief reintroduces itself, somehow at the door again. It manifests in tears, an ache in my belly, in the thunderous roar of anger. It manifests in waves of outbursts and calm, hopelessness, anguish. It manifests in a piercing noise or a deafening silence. Grief renders me immobile until I find joy in the smallest movements, until silence feels warm and noise becomes laughter, perhaps my own, until the outbursts become revelations, anguish becomes peace, and anger is replaced with compassion, understanding, until the ache in my belly becomes butterflies, and grief, though ever present, is never alone, for there is always joy to be found. Grief is a reminder, and I remember the miracle. And the last one is called Holy. This is how we perceive other animals, forgetting that we are also animals. You're acting like an animal. You eat like an animal. You treat me like an animal. You work me like a dog. You're a fucking rat, a snake, sheep, police are pigs. Why do we other vilify and degrade our fellow animals as if they are not us? As if they are not also fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, lovers, and friends? As if they don't also feel love, joy, fear, grief, and everything in between. How can we denounce their personhood, their value, when we depend entirely on the exploitation of their bodies, souls, and essence? They're just like us when it suits us. They're nothing like us when it doesn't. Well, they are sentient beings, and they are kind, caring, selfish, and complicated, just like us. They matter whether we believe it or not, and who are we to play God when a loving God would never hurt their children? Who are we to play God, breathing life into existence only to snuff it out as we see fit? Who are we to play God and decide who lives or dies, who is free and who isn't? Who are we to play God when our maltreatment of others also hurts ourselves? We revolt when powers are abused, when life is taken for granted and treated as pawns. But in the same breath, we deny someone of their autonomy. We ravage the female reproductive system. We rip into childhoods as we sink our teeth into their flesh. We displace families, both human and non-human alike. We prey on the most vulnerable to do our dirty work. Unspeakable crimes that we could never do ourselves. We cause physical and mental health disasters and have the audacity to stigmatize trauma, PTSD, substance abuse, and criminal activity. We steal land, oxygen, water, life. We have normalized violence to such a degree that the notion of peace feels radical. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do not steal, do not kill. Treat others the way you want to be treated. This is godly. This is holy. But if we were made in God's image, if we are doing God's work, if unspeakable, unforgivable cruelty is what God asks of us, please tell me, what would the devil have us do? Thank you. Please buy my book, My Fears Out Loud.
Yeah, let's go. Maureen Medina, y'all unmute your mics, please.
Maureen, Maureen.
Woo! Amazing, Maureen.
Wow.
More.
Great job.
So good.
That Maureen.
Oh, y'all, like, I gotta tell you, I'm so excited about this launch. I've had the opportunity to read these books, and like, y'all, you need all 15 of them, and you need all 15 of them. Like, you need all of the books. I just, yeah. Maureen, where can people find you? How can they get in touch with you to get your book, all that stuff?
But so you can find me on Instagram. I'm at _glasswalls, and I have a link tree. So it's Maureen P. Medina. And you can message me you can either go to my link tree or message me on Instagram if you'd like to order my book. I have Cash App and Venmo. I'll put that in the chat. And I now have writing workshops with The Word is Right. It's on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And the next event is May 24th. So please come, please buy my book. Thank you.
Yes. In her workshop, she starts it with a meditation. Like, come on, let's go. I did add on the website, you can purchase the entire bundle of the original 10, the entire bundle of the next 10. You can buy the 20 books that we published in 2021. You can also buy the entire collection of the Fierce 15. And you can buy all of the books from Red or Green Books. I do encourage you, if you're starting a library or you have someone who's a bookworm, just buy the whole set, because there is something for everyone in here, and you will not at all be disappointed at the level of literature that is pouring out of this launch. Let's go. Yes, Elizabeth Oos is asking, what is the workshop information on The Word is Right? Yes, if you go to The Word is Right on Facebook or Instagram, the schedule is up there, the posters are up there. Maureen's show is twice a month, and the link is the same. Show over show, hers is the same. So you can find all of the information there at The Word is Right, or just reach out to her, right? She's got that. Or you can reach out to me and I will get it to you. So very, very awesomeness. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. We got Gary Huskisson up next. The next two poets are the Elizabeths. We have Elizabeth Oots and Elizabeth Sophia Strauss are the next after Gary. Hello, my beautiful friend. How are you?
Hear me? It's London calling. Can you hear me? Maureen, God, wonderful. I wish I wrote that. Ladies and gentlemen, this does not come with a trigger warning, because I have the trigger. My book is called Go on the Bee and the Bang. So before I get your side, I need you to be limbering up, because if we're going to go to the race, we're going to go to a massive race. We're going to go to a red or green race. Now, Elizabeth, both of you, are you ready? Urban Poet, are you ready? Cynthia, Hill, Christy, the lot of you, on your marks.
Your hand, although we're like, I don't know. Do I
Ready.
need a lighter, Gary? Do we need a lighter?
On your marks.
Let's go.
I need perfect silence. Get set. Bang. False start, false start, false start. Get back, stand up, let's start again. The book is called Go on the Bee of the Bang. Because when I was an athlete, yes, this wonderful Adonis of a body was an athlete and a coach. You go on the beat of a bang. So no more false starts because you're out of the race. You're just going to be sick out there with all, you just be out there. So last time I meant you, because, all right. GOP, are you ready? NRA, are you ready? Nice, lovely people from Red and Green Books, are you ready? On your marks. Get set. Human grace, yes, we're in a race. It's a rat race, it's a disgrace not to have the right colour face. It's a disgrace. Oh, and there's a fall up the steeplechase. Yes, it's the black man, he's falling up the race. Oh, it's a disgrace. No, it's to be given. It's a disgrace not to be given the tools to start a human race. It's a disgrace to have the wrong ammunition at the start of the race. Oh, and there comes another fall of bees. It's a right-wing trumps coming over Capitol Hill. Bing, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to be told where's your place. It's a disgrace that we're not all a part of the rat race. It's a disgrace. I have one confession. One confession. Call me a racist. You may have, but I have to confess, which sounds like a fun-loving cannibals groupie. Yes, I'm today with you, my new friends and old. I have a confession. I hate green people, whether they come from Mars or Venus. This includes all the Wizard of Oz munchkins, the Jolly Green Gentleman can stuff all his corn, and I frankly don't care if all the Hawk shirts are torn. I hate green people. They come over here, yes, they come in, they drink all the cars from my bed and take all of the atmosphere. Oh, who do they think they are? They're doing the jobs we don't want to do. They sleep with our women. They sleep with our women. Oh, yes, the rumours about their gender are true. They play on our football teams just because they're green. They're better than us. And it must be in their genes. Oh, I hate green people just because they're green. I know you might call me like this is a 2022 and it's not politically correct. I hate people. The founders, we can't afford their benefits. Even Superman has to wave the rid of the kryptonite men. Even Green Day, who turned into the Green Onion. And after the Green Mile, they've all been taken to the asylum. My final word is you greens out there, as my bandwidth goes again. My final word is to you, is to eat your greens and take part in some ethnic cleansing. Eradicate those little green men. What the heck? What the heck? I know it's patently incorrect. As for you green people, don't you worry. I'm only having a laugh, a bit of banter. But for you, other colours, you better wear some camouflage. Ignorance has never and will never be an excuse for bigotry. But there is hate and division everywhere. When our Prime Minister calls his black citizens, his black doctors, his black leaders, the country's footballers as pickaninnies with watermelon smiles. Watermelon smiles. For this, they must pay the penalty. Where is the Jack in the Union Jack? It's not there. As being a black footballer, Sterling or soccer or wrestling does not mean Jack. It's all just a PR publicity. Instead of a cascading about modern day slavery, they want you to woo. And I smile, beginning. I'm born in England, made in the Caribbean, not English, maybe British. Though every day I play out my skin. I'm no longer proud to be British. Not because when I'm playing football, they throw banana skins when I run down the Red Wing. But it's because the Home Secretary exclaims, when I protest and put one knee on the floor, I'm only gesturing. I'm angry, not at those who go snigger, nigger, nigger, snigger under the breath. I'm gobsmacked at the members of the public still proclaim to be ignorant and ignorant. I'm defiant towards the uneducated, furious at Boris and his 1922 committee, creating a hospital, right, where it's more of a crime to stand on one knee than to actually say, "Sie Heil, Sie Heil." And finally, we all need to take a mirror to ourselves. We need to take who do we trust, who do we have, who do we like? And they just say, oh, my friend's a black person, he's nice, oh she's gay, I got no problem with gays. So we need the test, the ultimate test for you and me. Join me. Just checking. Another black man is falling on the sleeper chase. The race goes on. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who? Look to me in the eyes. Who is the most racist of them all? Let me see. Meet Donald Trump. Top munchkin from the land of the brave and the free. Christ his vision through one and all. Sent a lot of jacks up Capitol Hill to bring down the walls of democracy. Then to build a new diverse wall. Has he got a guilty conscience? I asked you, competitors. Not at all. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the most racist of you all? Let me see into my magic tubes. Meet Mr. Colonial Man, commonly known as Edward Colston. 359 years buried in the River Avon, not content with being a squire and owning all the land, sell to Africa and the Caribbean to rape and pillage all the man. I think we can agree to say no conscience at all. Which brings me to the same old question. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the most racist of them all? Let me see within the square. Meet Mr. Policeman, commonly referred to in the UK to be the Babylon. He's got a degree in social profiling, which the blue collar language means nigger catching. Oh, just ask the black man living in Brixton. No need to have a guilty conscience, because it's all a part of the institution. Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the most racist of them all? Oh, there can't be many people left. Let me see. Priti Patel, the current Home Secretary, she has no worries about families dying in the sea. Just blames those people from Francais. They say sorry. She can't get into her head that saying sorry is not an action. Inquiry for this, inquiry for that, inquiry for that. Don't just put a band-aid for those who are black. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm tired. I need to finish. Who is the most racist of them all? I think this person's been up already. Me conscience free, whitey. Ignorance is bliss. When it's put in front of them, when hate is on their plate, they cannot see. Born so quiet. There's a massive hush all about black history. They do not know how to give empathy. Loads of self-indulgence. No chance. Honestly. So mirror, mirror. I'm tired, I'm knackered. I'm like Rosa Parks. I just want to get off this bus. Mirror, mirror, who is the racist of them all? Gary, let me tell you, all them that think they're superior and blacks and the minorities are small. Can you look in the mirror with your chest open and stand tall? So in the reflection, so look in the mirror, take a look at yourself. It must be time for some ethnic mirror cleansing. Oh, just coming in. Oh yes, and we can say that, yes, the NRA have got gold medal and no blacks, no gays, no women found in the race. And that's what's the race. Goodbye.
Oh my God. Gary Huskisson. Y'all unmute your mics, please.
Woo-hoo, Gary. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
Gary. Okay.
Oh. Y'all, like, we need a collective breath after that performance and that piece.
Thank you. I will buy all your books. Why don't you buy mine?
Gary, where can people find you? How can they order your book? All that great stuff.
Right here in this kitchen. It's a brand new kitchen. I'm right here. Early on, I was under my duvet. Lovely. Me and the pillar really got to know each other. You can find me on Instagram under Pick a Mix.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
in anywhere near England on the 26th of June, you'll see myself, and we have royalty present in Mr. Lantern Carrier.
Yes. Manatita is the royalty for sure.
Because I will feed you too.
Oh my goodness. Yes, let's go. I have read through Gary's book and I will tell you it left me in tears in the best way of wanting to change things. So if you're looking to be inspired and moved, he is one of many.
I'm sure all of us, Marissa, I've been in a dark place just lately. I have been it's quite a challenge being there. But Marissa, all the way from New Mexico, has been kicking my ass and keeping on track. So and the other day she edited my book and I looked at it. I went, I love that. I need to get to know the author. So all the love in the world, and I really appreciate it. I know I'll give you lots of work, and you'll see when I get you over here and give you a free meal.
Yeah, it's when you go through someone's book, their life, their story, their manuscript, it is so intimate, to read these stories of these poets, and it's humbling and life-changing for me. And so I do hope that you are able to pick up the books and allow them to change your life as well. And I thank you, Gary, for trusting me on this journey with your book. And I hope that you are so very proud as I am to see this come to life. Oh man, all these beautiful human beings. All right, we're gonna keep going. I have not heard from Shane yet. I'm sure she's running behind. As always, she's saving the world, working with the next generation today of youth, doing poetry and writing and art. So she will be along just as soon as she can. So that leaves us, we have Elizabeth Oots and Elizabeth Sophia Strauss are the next two poets, and we're going to continue down the list. I will pop it in the chat periodically if you're just joining us. Welcome. We have all 14 of the Fierce 15 with us today. And we're working our way down the list now in alphabetical order that our international poets have had an opportunity to go first. And when Shane Maynard from Guerrilla Poets arrives, we will do our art show and unveil to you the beautiful cover art from our poets. And at that time also, we will go over our LGBTQ anthology and debut the artwork for that. And Elizabeth Sophia Strauss is on hand to talk a little bit about that anthology and the journey of that book. to come to life. All right, Elizabeth Oots, are you ready, my beautiful friend?
I am. I think I am. It looks like it's fixing to storm here, but hopefully the power won't go out. We'll see. Hold on one second. Okay, teenager getting food. Let me get my poems up. 1 second. All right. Hold on till there's quiet. Sorry. 1 second. My child is trying not to be noisy. It's really not possible.
This is
let's see
real
the
life,
first one.
y'all. It's totally fine, Elizabeth. That's why I kick my family out. I say, y'all better be out of the house. I need 2 hours at least of silence. So I got you. It's fine. It's no problem.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready,
Sure.
we're good to go. Unless you need more time, are you?
No, I'm good. So the title of the book is Was, and it's kind of just reflections on growing up, family, stuff I remember, kind of nostalgic, just growing up kind of in the South in the 70s, as I like to call it, my free range childhood, where we just left the house in the morning and came back when the dinner bell rings. This first one is called Was, from the title, and let me pull it up 1 second. The house that once stood in a clearing between 2 fields of corn now sits on the brink of falling, becoming earth again. A tin roof of gray and rust, dented by summers of hail, struggles to hold up collapsing walls. Splintered porch rails lean forward and back, threatening to twist apart if a slight breeze pushes past. Windows, shattered in cobweb shapes, hang brown with dirt on dirt from too little rain and long unplanted fields. Inside, on a moldy pine floor, chipped glasses, bowls, and plates lie under 20 or more years of dust, while black spiders weave transparent shrouds. So that was one. This next one is called Resolution. And this one was actually inspired in a workshop here in Charlotte with the Charlotte writers. And we were talking about New Year's resolutions and what the word meant originally. So resolution, from the Latin resolvere. Before we made this a New Year's attempt to force ourselves to be better, do more, stop this, start that, it meant to release, to loosen, to give over, and to let things go. This year, I will let go of self-hate, people who are no longer friends, fears that no longer serve me, loosen the tight red threads of anxiety that cut off my circulation like a string on my finger, reminding me that everything will never be okay. I will unwind the knot that sits a millimeter in front of my heart, causing beats to skip, pressing on my lungs so that no breath is ever a deep cleansing one. I will slacken the noose that will snap my neck every time she's sad for too long, in the bathroom with razors, asleep for days, all the things that will rock the chair from beneath my feet. Do I have time for one more short one? I read fast. Thank you. Let's see. And this last one is called On the Verge of Night. And this is sort of about the poetic process, or lack thereof sometimes. On the verge of night, I sit on the porch and sweat, hoping words will flow out and drop onto this page. The fan cools, but not enough for thoughts to condense. I stretch right, left, relax my shoulders, searching for a comfortable stance, a moon salutation going slightly awry. My favorite blue pen, held tight, starts a word, but meanders into a flower, then a 5-pointed star, then a row of triangles. I focus on my breath, intent in, words out, pen to paper in a series of positions, each meant to give rise to a meaningful thought, a goddess, a crescent, a mountain.
Yes, let's go. Elizabeth, everybody unmute your mics, please.
Thank you.
So good, Elizabeth. So good.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm going to share screen and introduce Elizabeth's cover. So one of the reviews on her book is, of course, by our very own Shane Mater. And Shane writes, Elizabeth Oots has bravely written the bittersweet hope and grief of nostalgia on a rarium of memory and release. This book is a journey through honoring as well as letting go of the places, things, people, and ways of being that have poured into the making of who we are. Elizabeth's language is sweet and sharp and has the capability of holding complex feelings in precise lines that offer support and stability in these moments that seem to flutter between our fingers. With palpable imagery, you can almost smell the sweet grass, hear the cicadas, and feel the sea tugging at you through the wind. This book is meant to be experienced and partnered with Elizabeth's beautiful photography, adding the desire of capturing these moments before they pass. Allow yourself to be swept away. You're going to enjoy the ride. And let me go ahead and share screen of her beautiful book cover. This is so exciting. Any minute, it should be on any moment. There we go. So there is her wonderful cover. She has this rusted typewriter in the background and these really awesome reviews on torn paper for the back of her book. Can you all see that okay? Okay, I'm gonna assume you did. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, get her book, y'all. Elizabeth, where can people find you? How can they order your book? All of those wonderful things.
Sure. Yeah, I'm on Instagram at FEOOts1122. And then I have a website that I just put up called, it's elizabethoots.com. So more info there.
Awesome. Wonderful. All right. And just a reminder, poets have 8 minutes or so, more or less. You know, you don't have to take the whole time. If you need a few extra minutes, that's okay. But so for the folks who may have been joining us or join us late, the poets are taking up to 8 minutes, more or less, to read their book or to discuss their process, their journey, and read something from their book. We're not going to buzz you or mute you or turn you off at all. I will keep time in case you're wondering how much time you have left. I can at least give you an idea of that. All right, I'll post the list in the chat again. I do not see Shane in here yet. She has not messaged me, so I'm sure she's on her way or will be here soon. And if she, for some reason, is detained and cannot make this event, don't worry, because she sent me the drive, the Google Drive, so I can still pull the covers up and go through them and debut them on this event. All right, we got Elizabeth Sophia Strauss up next, then Hill Hoover, Christy Scribbles, Patty Orozco, Stephanie Eisler Vance, S. Putnam, Terry Rose Jerson, and the Urban Cowboy Poet. If Kimberly Anderson is able to join us, and if A.D. Harris is able to join us, we will put them in there as well. Lizzie, are you ready, my beautiful friend? The floor is yours.
Thank you. Honored to be publishing with these 14 amazing authors. I'm part of this launch. When Marissa asked me several months ago to be a part of, it was originally a Baker's Dozen. She said, I want you to be the Baker's Dozen. And I said, I just poured out 2 poetry books. I got nothing left in my body right now. And her and Shane were like, no, you do. You do. It's in there. And I had started creating this new form of poetry called Pankus, Pan from my spoken word artist named Deadpan Lizzie. And I probably had maybe 2 or 3 Pankus and not had thought yet about making it into a book. But then just it hit me one day. And I said to Marissa and Shane, what about a book of Pankus? That's never been done. They were like, yep, go. Here's your contract. And within 2 months, I created a book and 3 new styles of poetry. And all while having a nervous breakdown, which is really what a lot of the book is about. It also reads as a diary because every poem I've ever written has a date on it. So you see me going through very rough parts of my life, but this book brought me back to life. And Marissa and Shane and the Fierce 15, so I thank them so much for that and for guiding me through this. It hasn't been the easiest year, but a lot of beautiful things have come out of it. So for those who aren't familiar with pankus, there are 3 forms of them. The first form is 9-word poems, which is what the book originally was going to be, but then the more depressed I got, the more I write. That's just kind of how I work. So then it turned into 9 lines of 9 words, in an epic panku, which is 9 stanzas of 9 lines of 9 words, which I think is around like close to 800 words for one poem. So I'm going to read one of each. And I also created this because I don't believe in writer's block. So I think start with 9 breaths and start with 9 words. And 9 is kind of a number that has always been in my life. It's popped up in tarot readings before. So it just came about, but I'm happy to give the world a new form of poetry to play with and create with. So this 9-word panku is called The Power of My Favorite Scents. Ripping open a can of tennis balls, blending vanilla. And so the nine lines of 9 words. Gotta get to the page, pardon me. This next poem is 9 lines of 9 words, and it's called The Dysfunctional Partner. I want to find a partner who understands me. Limits of needing space and needing them, but never 24/7. Or I fear the connection will fizzle out faster than flat soda. But I do long for that balance of healthful, sexual, cerebral, and emotional relationship. I desire that and feel that I am ready and need that again, where I won't feel threatened, frozen, or hit capacity to love them. I hope I find them, and I hope happily. And then the third form of panku, an epic panku. This is the first epic panku ever created. There are 2 of them in the book, called 9 Stanzas, Lines, and Pankus. I used to believe everything that came into my possession was of the most importance in my 3 decades around the earth and the rest of the solar system. My soul gravitates slowly and sometimes too quickly for me to catch my rather shallow breath. These weary days living in the still New York state of mind, James Taylor and not Billy Joel, underscores me in this panku de poetry that is not a trick of trivia, but I will always write promptly. Deciphering through my messy, I will always be a stage manager of penmanship. I go down the list of prompts from my twisted twin who gave them out. The moon shines through all of our eyes, watching the dark Long Island from my grandparents' 20th century, what I think is teal or used to be rather comfortable couch that I could rest on for a good long while, typing away my thoughts, my slightly dusty Mac Air where I've written the good, bad, sad, angry, positive truths about life and many others as we continue to transition into another year where mine feels slightly more challenging than others, though I know theirs are just harder sometimes, but perhaps they put on a better poker face than me. But why put a face that we cannot read, a vibe that makes many shake in their non-teal booties, still shining? Like gorillas, we attach our hands like bananas, our safety food full of potassium to keep us thriving, so we do not lose energy on our journey, no matter how long we last on planet Earth, as bumble around figuring out our next move. Or should I say, speaking for myself, given I seem to stop, like the fruits and vegetables, I stop once I become too raw to digest or rotten to live, existing, not living in the fridge of the world. New York City, the freezer that I finally escaped, I became freezer burnt instead of helpful and edible, letting myself defrost on the teal couch by the sea, sort of catching my breath again and again, letting that same tune I have heard through playlists on the radio rattle me like Wishing on the Radio by Goddess Donna Summerwood, playing on repeat my safety nets for the monkeys fuck around with you, hanging from their trees. For too long, I feel like I'm existing and not living, but some days are rich and you cannot help but live, flowing like liquid fluid until it becomes time to evaporate back into your Upper West East Side apartment where you feel safe and are constant, not living outside and existing on instead of feeling happy or safe in my new space, cold and dreary with no midnight in sight, like tofu frozen in the ice block, gross and bland. Unlike the tofu not saturated in teriyaki sauce, any tasty marinade to spice up my life, I turn back to comfort food to catch up and hopefully able to figure out what comes next. Will it be curries from London, India, or Bangladesh, or cuisines I have not discovered yet from nations nowhere on my radar where the sun shines bright on my body and thoughts to feel okay in this toxic world that gets you to slip on the banana peels that gorillas litter without thinking about the harm they may have caused the rest of us that we cannot rid because we are too inside our heads and bodies to let the peace be with we let the saturation of the universe make us feel a soggy warm that takes too long to rid ourselves off, where we get to a point when we let the stenches and spices become us and not for the better, almost sour like the grapes in the bottom of the Sub-Zero that have not become moldy as we pull ourselves out of the mindset. I will pull myself out of the mindset that does not stick to the bottom of the frying pan or the tinfoil that is burnt onto the black baking pan, hoping to taste good on our twisted tongues for dinner and time again, for breakfast, lunch, winter, and dinner, each snack, meal in between, making a feasting on our words. Thank you.
Let's go. Let's go. You guys unmute your mics. Give it up for Elizabeth Sophia Strong.
Yes, Lizzie, so good.
Woo, let's go.
Woo!
Yay.
Powerful.
Thank you.
The house. Let's go.
Let myself defrost. Woo!
Thank you.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, Deadpan Lizzie runs Deadpan Dope, the bi-weekly show here at The Word Is Right on every other Tuesday. I believe it's the first and third Tuesday of the month she does. Also, she is going to be heading an LGBTQ forward show as well come this fall. We're so super excited to have her, and of course she's assembling the LGBTQ anthology from Red or Green Books titled Out Loud, which we will go over in a little while. Lizzie, where can people find you? How can they pre-order your book? A book of pankus, y'all. Her life changed in 2 months. Like, come on, let's go.
It truly did. If you had told me like even 10 years ago, you're going to sit down and create 3 styles of poetry and change the world, I'd be like, nah, probably not. But life takes, but a pandemic changed us for the good. So something bad created something beautiful. If you want to learn more about me and pre-order my book, ElizabethSophiaStrauss.com, or if you're on IG, ES_Strauss, and we can get you a copy, and I will drop that in the chat. And I'll stop talking now because I'm going to talk a little more later about the Out Loud anthology and that journey. So thank you so much.
Awesome. I was wondering if y'all would do me a favor. So I heard from Shane, she was actually driving on her way home and they got a flat tire. So Daniel is changing their tire. Fuck adversity, right? Fuck adversity. It makes us stronger, really, right? But as they're in the middle of changing the tire, and she's working really hard to get here to this show, I was wondering if it would be cool if I did like a little snippet video and everyone just kind of unmute and say, "We got you, Shane. We love you. We're here for you." You say something uplifting, just like 5 seconds, and then I can send it to her so she at least can not, you know what I mean? You know, when like all the shit goes wrong and you're like, can I just get a break? I just want to send her some love. All right. So if we could do that, please, and just send her some love. All right. Let me go ahead and get it ready. All right, you guys. Shane, we love you.
We love you, Shane.
Don't worry
Be
about it.
Shane.
Be safe. Love you.
We love you.
We
And we love you,
you.
Daniel, for changing the tire. Thank you.
Pump up the tire. Pump it up.
Thank you.
We love you, Daniel.
Pump it up. Go on, Daniel. Pump up the tire.
Thank you guys so much. I just, I got to share some love with her because she works as hard as I do. And if not harder at what she does. And sometimes when you're down and you just gotta, you need your team around you to pick you up. So I'm sending that to her now. All right, here we go. We're gonna keep rocking this list. I posted it in the chat again. We got Hill Hoover and then Christy Scribbles. Hill, are you ready? Let's go, beautiful.
I think I'm ready. Can you hear me?
We got
Okay, cool. So honestly, I'm a bit of a disaster today because 2 minutes ago, while I was double checking my son to make sure he had everything he needed, he elbowed me in the face. Also, my vision is not great today, so I'm trying to read off my screen with letters that are like this high. So we'll see how this goes. So my book is called These God-Forsaken Notes, an Irreverent Poet's Memory Loss Memoir. And it's about neurological problems I've been having that have caused me to have memory loss issues and a whole bunch of other weird things. But because I'm me, it's also about trauma and being queer and spirituality and trying to put good things in the world, even when the world isn't giving you good things. So the first section of the book is sort of a series of warnings and hopes. I'm going to read you one of each. And this is called warning number 4. You decided to write a book about your memory loss, about all the ways that your brain was betraying you and your brain betrayed you. Your brain decided that there was no amount of quitting your retail job, locking yourself in your room, scheduling work hours, playing with tomato timers, scribbling to-do lists, blocking time wasters that would make it write a proper book. Your brain decided that what it wanted was a break, was the ability to close the blinds and put in earplugs the moment a migraine hits, the ability to rest in the bath for as long as it took to get your pain levels down. Your brain decided that what it wanted was immersing yourself in all the types of celebrity worship that you always eschewed, learning the names of half the tabletop gaming live stream community, listening to entire podcasts front to back, collecting teas and pins and buttons for your ever-growing collections of ways to start new conversations with strangers on the street. Meanwhile, your brain collected dead spots and strange sparks for reasons still unknown. And then you remembered that whatever commitment you made to naming each poem on a pattern, to making everything fit nicely in rows and columns was always only yours. So the warning passes from the notes to you to the reader that whatever one might expect from a disheveled, impoverished queer poet hunkering on a cold tile floor, it was never going to be high literature anyway. But then a hope. There is only one moment that matters. You may in this moment be feeling emotions related to past trauma. You may in this moment be suffering physically from old injuries or illnesses. Not being able to remember the incident that wrecked your shoulders doesn't make them any less wrecked. Not remembering the partners you had high hopes for the rest of your life with, a thing you no longer believe in, had issues that interacted with your issues in such a way as to make that shared life impossible, doesn't make them any less gone. Fear over whether you'll have a place to sleep next year, or food to eat tomorrow, or a mind that can hold your own name is a tangible thing that takes up space in your gut. I am not standing in a debate podium looking to refute the reality of any of these influences. But there is only one moment that matters in any given time, and all those influences aren't enough to tarnish it. Because you, me, the person I am becoming, has learned to read the notes, take only what is necessary from them, and then go straight into loving kindness practice. Learn to look at, you haven't gone home since your father died, and the whole visit turned into respectability politics that mingled with grief in such a way as to be crippling, and then smile and wish your grandmother well on the telephone. Learn to look at, if you're feeling weird about going to this particular place, it's because you were sexually assaulted there by a man who felt a right to check what was in your pants and then prove to you that was the only part of you that mattered. And then go for your walk anyway. Learn to look at, you still haven't gotten answers about the vertigo, about the tremors, about the occasional seizures, about the facial numbness, about. So be sure to do a systems check before you pick up anything hot or breakable, get behind the wheel of your car, promise to do anything, and then make coffee in your silicone cup. Put your hand against the wall for balance and go find something to laugh about. There's only one moment that matters, and it is this one, the moment where you are deciding to live. And then the next section of this project is called But I'm Still in Here. And it's basically about all the parts of myself that don't just disappear because I'm having health problems. And I'm going to read you Sexy Disaster Queers because it's fun, okay? I know that we want some better representation, and I know that we need the world to believe that we can be anyone, your neighbor, your doctor, your congressperson, or your mother-in-law. But look, there's a part of me that perks up at the unashamed wrecking ball that is a good disaster queer, at the half-dressed, half-cocked hurricane that spins through the lives of every character with an energy and a charisma uniquely created by the rejection of every expectation from every side. I know that it would be nice to live in the same house for a very long time, to have a real career and maybe even someone to put down as my emergency contact. But look, these rainbow pants make my ass look glorious. And there is no substitute for the rock star confidence boost of undercuts in wild colors, the fabulous freedom of collecting and releasing the energy of conversations with strangers, flippant flirtations that lead nowhere, and jokes for whom the in-group is a fluctuating, fluid family of the moment. I know that each day there are men who look in my direction with longing, who want to label me woman and prefix it with mine, and that society would breathe a sigh of relief. But look, I want to be sexy disaster queers with you. Want to lounge around in our boxers and feast our eyes on every glitter bomb to wash out with just the right saunter. Want to trade kisses in between secrets about our latest real life crushes, who we might just be tempted to take a night off to woo. Want to retrieve that unicorn hoodie from the floor drobe and slide it out and turn my head to catch the scent of you. Want to cook breakfast or dinner, Brenner? At midnight, halfway through a bottle of wine, dance terribly to songs that remind us of our favorite ships or our most nostalgic exes. Want to spin around in a skirt and look smug when you tell me you're looking handsome, sir. Want to live my whole life as the only moderately grown up version of the child who chucked respectability politics out the window the first time someone used them to strangle a genuine life beneath a rug or starve a spirit with a color scheme. I know that we're supposed to want so many other things, and I'll send my genuine congratulations to every successful friend or lover who breaks some cycle or other. But listen, just once in a while, I think I want to be sexy disaster queers with someone who can look into my eyes, see every trauma that I've breathed through, and laugh along. So,
Okay.
gonna read another one, but I feel like I'd almost rather end on that. I mean,
Oh
That was
my
great.
God, Hill, they're amazing. If you have not checked out Hill Hoover, please do. They are absolutely amazing. The book is phenomenal. Hill is also in the LGBTQ anthology that Lizzie's putting together. Oh my God, right? So unmute your mics, give it up for them, please. Woo!
Oh, Hill.
Yes. Woo-hoo. Yes, got it. Love it.
I fucking love it. Yes, Cynthia, you got to reach out to Hill. Get Hill for your show. All right, Hill, where can people find you? How can they pre-order your book? All that good stuff.
I am just Hill, H-I-L, Hoover, at Facebook or Instagram. I am Wandering Hill on Twitter. Hit me up any of those places.
Let's go. Also, as a reminder, if you're just joining us, you can go to the website readorgreenbooks.com. Read is R-E-A-D, readorgreenbooks.com. Click 2022 poets, and all of the bios and links for all the poets are there as well. All right, I don't see Kimberly yet. It has been able to arrive. Shane is on her way. Christy Scribbles, that means you are next on deck, is Patty Orozco.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my book is Sacred Elements of Me, and I am a channeling poet. So in this book, I decided to connect with the elements and channel through their medicine that I needed at the time. So I started with air, and I will start there. I picked a poem from each of the elements. Sleeping with air. As I close my eyes and soften my gaze, I invite air in to take a nap with me, to take a chill, a rest with me. And what I see is flying me into the stars, into the ether, into the air. I feel it now, feel her, feel him, feel them under me, supporting me as I try to fly away from it all for a little while. And I feel me smile. And I feel me laugh as I twist and turn and soar. Oh, I want more of the soar, of the freedom, of this feeling inside of my naps, inside of my dreams, inside of my air. The next element I worked with was fire. And it was so interesting to see the differences. As soon as I went from air to fire and had the ceremony, invited the element in, the energy changed and the poetry changed. So it's fun. This one is from fire. Boom. And in an instant, the world shifts, changed forever with a phone call, never to be seen again. Those phone call moments when the trail of gunpowder is lit on one end, and by the time the voice comes through the phone, the explosion is happening and you can't stop it. The explosion consumes you as the world tilts to the left and everything looks wonky as you try to hold on. Hold on as the tilting happens and the view skews as the heart breaks and the voices crack as the explosion travels through the air, hitting you in the face. In an instant, the whole world shifts. The next element I worked with was water. Oh, Pisces baby. We have been connected since birth, since forever, really. I am water. And I am here to clear the way for you to finish this book and connect back into the magic that flows through you. The water inside of you will guide you to be where you need to be. Oh, Pisces baby. We are connected, you see, you and me, the we of us. And I promise you, if you give in to this collaboration, we will find our way through. And having will be had, and joy will be found, and the flow within us will find the bed of its being, and we will become one and fall waterfall into the depths of the you and the me and the we. Oh, Pisces baby. So glad to be a part of your work, of your book, of your heart. Love water. The next element is earth. This one is titled Mayday. As Beltane is upon us and the time of planting has begun, that ritual to protect the crops and encourage growth feels like it's coming forward to be seen. What do I need to protect? What do I need to grow? These questions linger in my ear as I sit and write inside the element of earth and connect to ground below, and I feel the calling to lay down upon the ground under a tree on top of grass and just allow the earth to hold me and allow the grass to comfort me. And so I walk outside and I lay down upon her. As I lay me down, I start to shake upon the ground, and my whole being is convulsions as the tears run round my cheeks. And too much crying to speak, I hear earth whisper as I weep. Cry, my child, just cry. Allow the tears to fall to earth below you, to me, and I will hold you. As you release your cry to me, I will help you see that the tears will set you free. The tears will set you free. And the last element is spirit, of course, the all that is and ever was. And this is entitled Holding On to Stars. It feels so much bigger than me when I look at what I see and I see at what I look. These words, these poems, this book, it feels uncontainable. Like I'm trying to hold on to a star and hide it under my shirt like my 6-year-old does with a ball. As spirit calls to me to try to see it from a different way, I say, why today, of all days, do I feel this way? And I hear, Christy, don't think of it in terms of time or in terms of now, but in terms of timing. This is where I was supposed to arrive in the process of this book. And this is where I can teach you the most, the lesson, the love. Because I am not up above. I am not a person. I am inside of you, of everything, of existence, and I connect it all with the star-like ball that shoots from inside. This you cannot hide because it is everywhere. And when connecting here on the porch that you sit, and you say that you miss and you are homesick, well, you needn't be because you see, you are me, and we are us, and you never left. And we are never apart. I am always here, just inside your heart. And let's make it clear, right now, right here, I will always and forever, for eternity to infinity, within you, me, the we of we will forever be one. Thank you. And you can find me. I am the Poetry Alchemist, _poetry_alchemist on Instagram, or you can look up Christy Scribbles and you can fill out the form and pre-order Sacred Elements of Me. Thank you.
Yes! Christy Scribbles, everybody! Unmute your mics. Give it up for her, please.
Christy! Woo! Awesome. Beautiful.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Woo, Christy!
Woo!
Absolutely sensational. I love the diversity. Like, we're a little more than halfway through the list, and y'all, there is something for everyone in this launch. The diversity, the eclecticness, the craftsmanship of these poets is hands down some of the best in the world. So please, please, please support these poets and their debut collections. Next is Patti Orozco from El Paso, Texas. I've met this poet in person. She's phenomenal. Oh my God. I'm so excited to be launching her book. It is as beautiful as she is. The work speaks for itself. So I'm gonna let her come up and rip it up here. After Patti, we have Stephanie Eisler Vance, and whenever Shane gets here, we will do the cover art debut. So those of you who are joining us, or those of you who are watching live on Facebook, don't go anywhere, because the cover art is still yet to be debuted. So if you thought you missed it, no, you did not. Just stick around and we will get to it. All right, Patti, are you ready, my beautiful friend?
Ready. Okay, hi. Okay, the title of my book is called Drenched Raincoat, and I wanted to title that because the one thing that's supposed to keep you dry, I wanted you to kind of melt away in the words that I was writing and kind of just soak it all in. So I just want to write 3 pieces, 2 from the book, and I just kind of want to go straight in with the first piece. The dreading of a day that is unborn before the waking of a dawn who is entirely feared. To gasp at a moment who dares not take your breath away but claws the very oxygen from the root of your soul. Bury me 10 feet under at a pledge that you won't uncover me at 6. Don't say those 3 little words at an attempt to claim my presence to stay. When you never heard the thunder rumble, how could you have possibly known that I broke? Broke beneath the thinness of a melting sheet of ice, frozen limbs before they even touched the water. Lungs lost without air, without visibly gasping. Save me. Have you stumbled through the night when the darkness is so dense and the bulbs meant to light just provide survival for the shadows? Maybe if I lay here muffled in silence with only the trembling in my bones rattling, the lens of dread will dissolve, will vanish. And the conclusion of a drama class when I've never attended is quite more than just insulting. For the emotions I don't speak, I can guarantee there's more brewing. I sat at an empty screen for hours, darkness commanding the space in between each word as I tried to voice the pain that laid within. I met silence with silence, and the loudness made me want to scream, and yet not one single word made it past the clutter of fear lodged between the spaces of my teeth. Made me want to rip the clinginess of my skin who provides false protection against the battles within. If you don't see my scars, would you define me as even damaged? And yet you say I'm incapable of walking in tomorrow without the enslavement of yesterday's moments. Dare you let me go? Dare you let me live? Broken deep within all the while, the reflection in the mirror filtered the tarnish that's encrypted within. And then this is a piece from the book. It's titled My Wish. What I really want is to be lost in a moment where sadness doesn't creep between the ridges of my fingertips, where the strings attached to my soul aren't being yacked to the support of the ground. A moment where my heart doesn't feel like crumbling from the weight of my chest caving in. I want happiness to be the one invited guest who lingers past the bend of the moon, who tickles the seams of my limbs and provides the gust beneath my feet. What I want is a moment in which I don't feel as if I'm being punched in my face with undeniable sadness, where I don't feel like I'm falling completely apart. I don't want potions or spills for the trickery of bliss and the delusion of crawling away beneath the darkness of the covers, only to be found between weighted sheets disguised as silk linens. To hold on to belief of tomorrow without the existence of today, to believe of who I am and not what I am. For what I am is just sadness, simply undone, that doesn't do living, hardly does breathing, hardly knows how to be human. I stumbled upon these words more times than not, practiced them in front of the bathroom mirror, made the mistakes, say mistakes over and over again. See, I'm living, but I'm truly not leaving. Making each day to noon and then never made it past the hill. And then here is where I stopped the poem when things got a bit tad too real. And then last piece is titled Vomit. Could I truly be someone beyond this right here? Could I be someone, be loved, be known, be more than unmatched bones and skip heartbeats? Could I truly be held without the goosebumps in my skin, wishing me to run past the length of open arms? None of these actual questions, because this is what it feels like to come off a high and directly into a low. I missed the curve of it all. Wondered how many times I've shed my skin already, only to realize I'm still in the wrong one. Could I write the poem that moves the thoughts in your mind to believe life is worthy? I lay limbs stretched across the living room carpet, only until darkness no longer pinned me down. Stayed sunken between the floorboards until I could get the bend in my knees to stop kneeling. Remind myself of who I am, but how can I when I'm constantly recreating myself, constantly over and over and over again? Did I roll too quickly into a high that I forgot the low was to come? I tasted bliss and bitter snarled. And those are my pieces. And for right now, you can follow me at Patty's_poetic_life. And then that's also where I'm doing pre-orders. And that's it.
Yes, unmute your mics, you guys. Give it up for Patty Orozco.
Woo!
Woo! Yes, loved it.
Woo, Patty!
Oh my God, let's go, Patty. It's not stopping. The train's not stopping. You better not be going anywhere. The best is, still to come. I mean, I can't really say that, but you know what I mean. Like the whole list is amazing. You don't want to miss a single person on the list today. All right, we have 4 poets left to read. We have Stephanie Eisler Vance, S. Putnam, Terry Rose Dirksen, and the Urban Cowboy Poet. Somewhere in there, we will see if Shane is able to get in here. If not, I will pull up the covers and we will go through them. Also, Lizzie Strauss will be helping debut the LGBTQ anthology cover, and we will talk a little bit about that. All right, Stephanie Eisler Vance, are you ready, my beautiful friend?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Eisler Vance, and my book is called Made of You, and it is organized in 3 different sections, mind, body, and heart. And I'll be reading one piece from each section today. And the first one is called My Happiness. This morning, I woke up happy. My mind was all lemon drops and sunbeams. I could not figure out why. I did not understand this goofy grin on my face or why that first in-bed stretch felt so damn good. I needed to understand because my happiness is a warning sign. My happiness is dangerous. My happiness has a tendency to take it a bit too far. My happiness says to me, how happy do we want to get today? My happiness is a hop, skip, and a quantum leap to losing my damn mind. I have no love for happiness. I have no trust in happiness. What is happiness but a pit stop to a hospital bed? Don't worry, be happy is a contradiction in terms. I do not know what he was talking about. If happiness is that easy, I must be some kind of idiot. My happiness is just like me, never satisfied. It will not rest until all options are exhausted. Its tendrils winding into every crevice of my mind. It can find my mind is bound. I have found the secrets of the universe in my own happiness. It is not exhausted until I am exhausted. I am never exhausted. Do not ask me if I am okay. Am I okay? Are you kidding? I am better than okay. I am better than you will ever be. Everything is completely, totally, monumentally, cosmically okay. What do you mean, am I okay? I am wary of happiness. My happiness is my own best enemy, what we all strive for, the harbinger of my blissful undoing of happiness. What then can I do? There is little to do but hope. I cannot spare any hope for some mythic future. I am using all the hope I have for this moment right now in the hope that my hope is enough to one day let me feel happiness like everyone else. It is improbable to say I have not given up hope yet. This morning, I woke up happy. I started my day. I took a deep breath and I said to myself, okay, here we go. So that was the first one. And then this next piece is from the body section, the second section of my book. And it's called For the Girls Who Cannot See Themselves. I hold in my hands a mirror. I hold it up to you, but you wince and look away, or you find with lightning speed the needle in the haystack that will not stop pricking you, calling you ugly, fat, unworthy. Your eyes find the needle immediately, but they are blind to the scars it creates. It is not an eating disorder if you cannot see it. Healthy means skinny. This is obvious. When do you become too big to love? You may not see much value in a haystack, but it was good enough for Monet. So what does that say? So busy looking for a needle, you miss the crinkle in your smiling eyes, how you walk when you are feeling yourself. To extract the needle would be to reject what you have been told by people you trust, but might we use it for something other than a weapon? Use it to weave yourself a blanket on which to rest. I am tired of seeing you tired. Use it to suture self-inflicted wounds, knowing what hurts can also heal if only you look at it right. Enough tearing yourself down from the ground up. Legs should be slimmer, no gap between the thighs. We all know our worth comes from absence. Hips out to here, ass even wider. Look at that cellulite. How disgusting. Could really use a tummy tuck. Breasts too big or too small. Strike a pose. Need that skinny arm. Oh my God, my double chin. I feel it. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, you are assessing me. Whether this is true makes no difference. This negative feedback loop is constancy itself, fueled by, well, basically everything. And I, enlightened being, master of my own destiny, cannot stop calling myself fat. When I hold this mirror up to you, know that I also hold it up to myself. If you are brave enough to gaze upon yourself and you see anything but a vessel for beauty, strength, and then some, take another look, because you, my dear, are a work of art. See yourself. I will try my best to do the same. Okay, one more piece. This is a sweet little thing in the heart section, the third section of my book. It's called Like Lightning. Only very few things happen suddenly in nature. Most take frickin' forever, like a flower blooming or a child becoming an adult, or maybe that is just another kind of blooming. The bloom is patient, distressingly so, all that time to sit and wait. but there are very few things that happen suddenly, like lightning or falling in love, or maybe that's just another kind of lightning. And lightning, like all things that happen in a flash, takes you by surprise. Even when it is pouring outside, you never know when lightning will strike, which sounds obvious enough, even as a metaphor for falling in love. But I had always thought of love as a gradual build, such a patient bloom, a feeling that develops over time. That was how I experienced love the first time, and that love was all I knew for so many years. But unrequited love isn't love at all, a fact I chose to ignore over those years and longer. Unrequited love is death by Venus flytrap. It gets you quick, then devours you slow. The real thing, oh, the real thing, to know the real thing, to catch lightning in a bottle and preserve its brilliance, boom, pow, to one day have quick enough hands. I do not consider myself an expert on the subject of love or any other kind of lightning, but I know now that it is lightning. Like lightning, love just happens without warning or fanfare. Blink and you miss it. Accepting love is what takes the longest, the blooming involved, the painstaking work of allowing yourself to be seen in the process. To know when to reach for a thunderbolt and when to sow those ever-loving seeds, that is a skill I am still hoping will come. But I'm getting closer. Can you tell?
Yes! Yes! Stephanie Eisler Vance, y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for her, please.
Let's go, Steph.
Hey. So good.
Thank you. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Steph Makes Faces. In the link tree in my bio, you can pre-order my book. You can also register. I'm hosting a week from today. I am hosting a journaling workshop. The second one I've done. The first one was so great. If you are interested in journaling at all, I would definitely encourage you to check that out. I will post my stuff in the chat. And thank you. Always a pleasure.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to share Steph's cover. I'm going to read one of the reviews from her cover and then debut her cover for you. Tara Boyd writes, "Made of You met my desire for honesty, vulnerability, and simplicity. Vance has a way of taking her everyday experiences and retelling them through her poetry in the most entertaining way. It was a pleasure to read and have the opportunity to get to know her on a personal level through her artwork." All right, so let me go ahead and share screen here, and you can see Steph's cover from her upcoming debut collection of poetry titled Made of You. And Steph, did you get your books in the mail yet?
Not yet. I think they're coming on Monday.
So
Tomorrow.
any day now, right? Any day now. Y'all should do a video of you opening the books for the first time and like holding them in your hand for the first time.
I am definitely doing that.
Yeah,
Already
this is a life-changing moment, right? When you get to open your book and hold your book. So this is the cover, Made of You, poems by Stephanie Eisler Vance. Y'all, please get in touch with the poets. Pre-orders are on sale. If you're wanting to purchase the entire collection of all 15 books, go to the website, redagreenbooks.com. Red is R-E-A-D, and you can get all 15. You can also just buy a raffle tickets and you have a chance to win all 15. There's 5 out of the US poets. So yeah, it does get expensive to collect them all and pay shipping. So $5 for a ticket, 5 for $20, 30 tickets for $100, and all of the proceeds from the raffle go to publishing the LGBTQ anthology and the men's and them erotic anthology. So we are not taking any profits whatsoever. Last year, this year, everything is going back into making more books. It is awesome. Let's go. All right. And the drawing for the raffle will be at Poetpalooza in August. Don't wait till August. Get your tickets now. All right, so we're going to keep rolling down the list as we're waiting for Shane to get here. We have S. Putnam, and she did send me a review, but we don't have the cover art yet for it. So here, real quick, I will read the review that S sent me. This is by Pamela Smith. And she writes, in loose change, picking up the pieces, S.Z. Putnam is the architect of our story, told artfully through poetry and prose. So many pieces create vivid scenes and emotions on their own, but read together, these works capture the highs and lows of our journey in a way that will no doubt tap into the reader's own visceral experiences with heartbreak and recompense. So y'all, well, let's not unmute our mics yet, but we'll turn the floor over to my beautiful friend S. Putnam, and can't wait to hear what she is bringing. After S will be Terry Rose Jerson.
Hi all. Okay, so I'm just gonna read a few pieces from the book. First one is called Do You Remember Lightning? And my book is just basically me going through and surviving my husband's addiction. So, do you remember lightning? It was a lifetime ago, almost forgotten, this memory that eludes me unless I search for it in the suitcases of my mind. I packed them up, stuffed full and put away for safekeeping. Safekeeping. Though I've forgotten where safe is. It happens all the time. Me, losing things in the shadows of my sight. This memory of lightning in Wisconsin wet. In Wisconsin, unpredictable weather. It was a firestorm of litany, both sides unwilling to agree. I was alone in a room designed for sleep, though rest was not to be had. And you took off and the doubts crept in. When you returned, you were changed. The honesty we shared that night is what dreams are made of. You spoke of uncertainty and prayers to a God you no longer believed in. You described being surrounded by an electric storm flooding the entire sky, except where you stood. You said it took your breath away. You told me you believed in that moment we were meant to be. I fell in love with you then. Fell in love with the man you wanted to be, the man you were becoming, the man who loved me through all adversity, and I fell. Drowning. I saw your tears slam down to the earth like rain. Your beautiful smile disappeared behind the clouds of your palms as you concealed your hurt from the raging storms. Heartache was written like a book across your face. You soaked the ground, but the storm did not dissipate, and I wondered if you would drown yourself with your sorrows. This next one is called Lady of the Lake. I walked down to the shore of this lake. Wildflowers are growing everywhere, spreading their fragrance around me, drowning me in their soft but heady scent. Peace is much needed when so many questions plague my mind like locusts. I am in a cyclical state of confusion I cannot escape, and I am constantly questioning myself. I sit down and look out at the mirrored lake. Something pulls my gaze downwards, a force so strong it feels like strings attached to my sockets. I cannot turn my gaze away. Before me, appearing like a siren from the sea, a steadfast lady, comfortable in her element, in control of her breeze-like aura. A warrior princess she appeared with wild tresses blowing all about. I am captivated by her striking energy, her palpable force field. She is magnetic. Her knowing smile hints of her resilience, and I am eager for her truths. I bow my head down to the waters in prayer. Wishes pour out of me instead like a flood of currents. I channel this beautiful being, emulating her poise, reflecting her serenity, refracting my loneliness. I feel a wave of words flowing across my lips like the breeze in the wind, effortless. Jolted awake from my trance as lips meet the cool water's caress, I stare into my reflection. A renewed promise of love is in my chest and in this moment, I have clarity. I am determined, renewed, reborn. I will get my answers, and the tides engulfing me are finally going to change. And then this last piece, just in case. Just in case you think lightning has struck, I want to advise you that the storm is coming, that the storm is in fact a storm and not a warm summer rain where we bathe away our worries and dance the night away like gypsies, though we will dance. I want you to know that my love will suffocate you because you are not prepared for it. And maybe it wasn't mine to give and yours to receive, that we will blindly follow and lead because we think that that is what we are supposed to do. That we will hit midlife crisis and not understand what it means as we hit it again and again on repeat. And that I will tell you I hate you so that you will finally leave me because I cannot leave you, because I still love you. And that we will become toxic chemicals that should not be mixed, but we will be poured into one mold, and our mixture will cause our lungs to heave from lack of oxygen, and we asphyxiate over and over again while trying to live. We will love each other as much as we will destroy one another. And when you thought lightning struck that first time, it was actually a warning that lightning will continue to strike until we become the ashes of falling debris. Just in case you were wondering.
Oh man, S. Putnam, everyone! SZ Putnam, y'all unmute your mics, please. Give it up for
So good.
for S.
That's cool.
Us.
Thank you all. You can find me on Instagram at ESSZ Putnam, PUTNAM, and same for Facebook, ESSZ Putnam.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, S, so much. Yes, let's go. It is not stopping. Stamp your ticket and get on the train because it is leaving the station, and these poets are just they're blowing some shit up. All right, last two poets to read tonight. We got Terry Rose Jerson and then the urban cowboy poet. Terry Rose, are you ready?
Yes. Should I say anything about my process before
You
I
are welcome to fill the time with anything you want, my dear. You got the floor.
Okay, so I'm an artist. Well, I was an artist first, and then I have a lot of artwork in my book that I drew or took photographs. I like jazz, so you hear that in the background. That's calming my nerves right now because I get nervous. And I got involved with writing poetry over the last 2 years of the pandemic, just to help me process through different things that I was just thinking about. Being shut in is not my thing. I'm not a shut in. So I was going a little crazy. So for that, I needed to do something. And so this is what I did. So I wouldn't go crazy. Okay. So with all these thoughts coming in, so this book is kind of like a history of my life in the short version. And every little poem in there has something to do with something that probably actually happened, allegedly, names not included. So here we go. For my biggest heartbreak, he said he was interested in the Holocaust, which was my first red flag. In my mind, there was no relation of that horrific event to him. He accusingly inquired, "Don't you know what my nationality is?" Again, still not following. He was a bunch of things, but not Jewish. He said to me, "You know, I usually only go out with Jewish girls. I thought you were Jewish when I first met you." But now, pointing to my stomach pregnant with his baby, as if to say he would be gone if that wasn't for that mistake, I shot him a look that said, "How dare you refer to your child in that hateful, unspoken tone?" Later, he would repeatedly show me in the Old Testament, in the book of Joel, where it speaks about the coming of the Holocaust. It says that the covers are too short for the bed. He would painfully highlight different places with pen where he was convinced that God had foretold this only to him and the Jewish people, the only chosen ones. He said this to me in a demeaning way, as if association would save him. God will have mercy on whom he will have mercy, was his answer. The best thing that ever happened to him, he would never realize. For him, it was just another day when we were walking on the Atlantic City boardwalk, and he was shouting to the sky, God, if you're real, show me a sign. And I lost my place because I did that. Hold on. And out of the blue, as if to answer him, hitting him in the head, came a small change purse with some coins in it, perhaps symbolizing the 30 pieces of silver paid to the betrayer of Jesus, or perhaps it was a wise old woman in the crowd of people who wanted this lunatic to shut up. Begging the question, was this his sign? Or was this God's way of asking him to put his money where his mouth was? So that's that piece. And I have The One Forgotten. I don't know if I want to read that one next. It's there. The One Forgotten. Too basic to stand out, too old to be young and fresh, too mediocre to be great, too non-ethnic to be ethnic, too fat to be skinny, too weird to be cool, too tired to be energetic, too private to be exposed, too broke to be extravagant, too conservative to be erotic, too evil to be good. And if only the good die young, that means I will live forever, only to be forgotten. And there's this one. Love is a mystery I don't understand. Once sizzling due to a 5-year self-imposed abstinence from another dysfunctional pairing, and when the fast was broken, thirst quenched over and over again until left exhausted of any future desire, came 10 years of obligatory wifely duties, leaving me exhausted of any future desire to sizzle, left to fizzle. That was 10 years of my life that I will never get back, which left me exhausted over the futility of sizzling sex and marriages that die a slow and pointless death, unions that bring relief when finally over, fractured relationships that still hold the mystery of how they were sewn together with a dull needle. When we last spoke, we both agreed that we failed. We failed to answer this question, this impossible question, or silence the infinite yearning of brokenheartedness caused by misunderstanding this mysterious thing called love.
Yes, Terry Rose. You guys, unmute your mics. Give it up for Terry Rose Johnson. Let's go.
Thank you.
Terry Rose, where can people find you? How can they pre-order your book? All that wonderful stuff.
Well, I didn't think about this, but I was telling people to private message me if you want to pre-order my book, but then people that are not my friends can't really private message me. So I have an email, and then if I don't show you that, you won't see that either, but I'll put it in the chat. And if you're friends with me on either Instagram or Facebook, you can just private message me there. And I have a PayPal that's connected to my email, so we can make a transaction that way. If we don't have PayPal. Yes.
I will tell you that Terry Rose Johnson's book is full of her amazing artwork. You guys, like, she must have 12 to 15 at least different pieces of artwork in her book that she has drawn, maybe even 20. It's a lot. So you get not just the poetry, but you get the artwork from this poet. You get the whiteout poems, the blackout poems, the found poems. You get her drawing, her photographs. Like it's just a brilliant, brilliant book. So please reach out to these artists and get their books. You can always go to the website and find their links to their social medias. You can message them. You can email us at Red or Green Books. You can message The Word Is Right. You can message me. We will get you in touch with the authors so you can get your signed copies. You have to. Yeah. You just have to. Yes. So Terry Rose, was there anything else other than maybe emailing you or tracking you down?
Send smoke signals if all else fails. I don't know what to tell you.
Send some carrier pigeons, right?
That's right. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend.
Yes, we'll get you hooked up somehow. Don't worry, we will get you hooked up with them. All right, so we're gonna rock and roll it. We got one more poet to read, and then we will debut the LGBTQ cover and move into the art show. I don't know. I hope Shane is able to make it, but if not, this fine. We will figure this out. All right. In fact, Lizzie, I think I'm going to share the link with you for the one that Shane sent me, just in case my computer goes down again, or in case it's way too slow to show. But yeah. All right. Last but certainly not least, we have the urban cowboy poet. Greg Michaels is here to wrap up the list of the Fierce 15. He does urban legends told in the cowboy poetry genre of literature. And so, Greg, I turn the floor over to you and have at it. Lizzie, be ready. We will do the anthology next.
All right. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Greg. First of all, I want to thank all the poets tonight for telling their intimate stories of love and loss and grief and racism and sexism and depression and pain, so I don't have to. Yeah, I take urban legends. I ain't a cowpoke, so I take urban legends, and a lot of on tabloids and on the internet, Snopes and stuff. A lot of them are scary, gross, scary, or ghost stories, and I didn't do any of those. I took ones that either are funny, or I could make funny, or find a little bit of funny in. There's plenty of trauma in these, but it's fictional trauma. It's not personal. I'll start with fire diving. On a hot day in the summer, Charlie did what he loved most. He went scuba diving off the California coast. No better way to keep cool than exploring in the water. What Charlie didn't know was that his day would get much hotter. As he was flipping around and hunting clams and stuff, and flipping around, from above the surf, he heard a whoopa whoopa sound. Charlie got to wondering just what that could be, and a round metallic vessel starts submerging in the sea. He felt himself being pulled aboard by some powerful suction. What the heck was going on? Alien abduction? Was Charlie being hijacked to some aqueous moon of Jupiter by flipper beings who think that he's just like them, only stupider? And when Charlie was out there swimming around and playing scuba games, 100 square miles of forest land was going up in flames. The U.S. Forest Service had to set its plan in motion. They sent a fleet of aircraft to scoop water from the ocean. Torn a flying saucer, just a Forest Service chopper, carrying seawater, fishes, crabs, and Charlie in its hopper. 1 minute Charlie's in the sea, then in the wild blue yonder. Next thing he knows, he's fighting fires. He's become a first responder. When the pilot dumped his bucket on the patch he aimed to soak, Charlie landed in the branches of a blackened red oak. He dived equipped with tank and mask, flippers, and wetsuit, but he forgot to bring along his fireproof parachute. Later, when the Rangers surveyed damage they could see, they spied a curious crispy critter hanging in a tree. Is that a bear way up there? One ranger had to ask. Not unless a bear would wear 2 flippers and a mask. California firemen's wives were so proud of their spouses who fought to save the pot farms and the $1 million houses. If you'd asked old Charlie's wife, he'd have said the chance was zero that a scuba diving hubby would turn out to be a hero. When they ID'd Charlie, his wife cried, but her head couldn't be held higher. He's credited with extinguishing 2 square yards of fire. Fate's a bitch when a man goes diving looking for adventures. Winds up burned so bad he must be ID'd by his dentures. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. Great. Keep going.
I'm going. This legend was originally called the Choking Doberman, but I changed the breed of dog, and I can do that because I have a poetic license. So I can do it. So I call it the Widder's best friend. The Widder Johnson lived alone in a house there were no man in. She got herself a German Shepherd Hound for a companion. The dog named Jack and Mrs. J got to be best friends real soon. He loved Gardner night and day and howling at the moon. She never hardly left her pet all by herself alone, except when she went shopping to get her dog a bone. One day she sensed trouble when she opened the front door. Her best friend lay doubled up and writhing on the floor. Jack, who loved his mistress, was gasping for a breath. He was in plumb distress, choking most to death. His breathing was real labored. She had to save her pet. She called out to the neighbor. They whisked him to the vet. The vet plunged a breathing straw into the shepherd's neck. There's something stuck there in his craw. Don't know what. I'll have to check. X-rays will show if it's cold blue or just something he ate. Go home and rest. I'll call you if I have to operate. The phone rang just as she got in. The caller sounded urgent, to a frantic warning from the veterinary surgeon. Call 911. Get out the house. Make sure that you don't linger. I cut up your pooch's mouth. He ate 3 human fingers. Police responded to her call and then commenced the searching. They might need backup and all for their bad guys in there lurking. One cop opened the closet door. It's an ambulance we're needing. There's a crook here crying on the floor and seriously bleeding. The burglar jumped there through the roof. He was acting downright wiggy. I ain't coming out. There's a big bad wolf. He ate my 3 little piggies. But one scared thief in the house that day, causing all that racket. The ambulance came and took him away, found in a straitjacket. The veterinarian sewed up Jack, sent him home to howl at the moon again. The burglar got his fingers back, was tried and thrown in the loony bin. This story has an epilogue that I hope everyone follows. Be sure and train your killer dog to chew before he swallows. Thank you.
Let's go! Urban Cowboy Poet!
Okay, I'll do a legend that there's many versions of this legend on the internet and the tabloids and stuff dating back to like 1910. So I took the most fanciful version that I read and fancified it a little more. Best Dressed Kangaroo. A high-style fashion magazine sent a team to the bush down under. The ideas they come up with really make you start to wonder. To an odd location to put on a fashion shoot, modeling clothes amidst a wallaby, wombat, and bandicoot. Their 4x4s for caravan, and through that they're out back when a Jeep Cherokee in the lead hit something hard, like whack. The models in the RV were awakened from their sleep. They climbed out to find a kangaroo lying still aside the Jeep. Claude, the photographer, said, "Look, I got an ID. Let's prop up this dead kangaroo against that old gum tree." He brought out a pile of clothes, and with the help of all the girls, they dressed the roo in basic black with a simple strand of pearls. The models were delighted that they found a dress her size. All of them in unison cried, "Time to accessorize." They knew there weren't no high heels that would fit on kangaroos. They searched the RV high and low, but they couldn't find clown shoes. Claude's own Gucci jacket completed the stylish look. He'd feature the roo in a sidebar in the next month's book. They dressed her like a femme fatale in a James Bond magazine spread. Only problem was this animal was shaken, not dead. That mama kangaroo sprang up and shot off like a rocket. The Joey riding in her pouch with rifling through Claude's pocket. The little critter swallowed the photographer's car keys. His passport, plane tickets, rolls of film went floating on the breeze. Claude chased her in the Australian heat till he was tuckered out. 100 degrees just weren't his idea of a walkabout. The models lingered outside long enough to get a tan, then retired to sip cocktails in their air-conditioned van. That long-tailed beast went leaping home dressed in the latest fashion. Her reflection in a billabong showed her that she looked smashing. When she meets with her marsupial pals, high style munchies be catchy. Every female rule won a pouch made by Versace. The modeling session was a bust. It was time to go. The photographer was exhausted. Besides, the minibar was low. And the world's best dressed kangaroo was never again seen till she showed up on the cover of a rival magazine. Thank you.
Yes, Greg Michaels,
That's what I
everybody, the urban cowboy
Woo-hoo.
poet.
Urban cowboy, awesome.
Thank you for
Urban
thank you
cowboy
for
poet, where
squeezing.
can people find you? How can they pre-order your book?
They can find my videos on YouTube or Facebook, Urban Cowboy Poetry. I don't know how to pre-order my book yet. I just turned in the manuscript yesterday. Thank you for squeezing me in. I do have PayPal. My email is urbancowboypoet@gmail.com. I do have PayPal. I think I might have Cash App, or I'm going to have Cash App too, but I don't know yet. Like I said, I barely got the book in. Thank you very much.
I'm so excited you're here on the launch. Well, thank God the New York City Poetry Festival moved back, right, to September, because otherwise we would all be in a little bit of different boat than we are now.
Yeah.
Because originally it was set for the end of July. Now it is September 10th and 11th. So yes. All right, y'all. So Shane Maynard's in the house from Gorilla Poet. She is here with her gorgeous new purple hair, which I am envious of. I don't know if I don't know. I've never colored my hair. I'm not against it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do red and green, but then maybe that's just like
do it. Ooh, do it.
do tips that are red with like green tips, or green with red tips, right? Something for New York. Let's start a trend. All right. So just to kind of reiterate and summarize the show so far for those who are just joining us or those who came late. So yes, this is the Red or Green Books Fierce 15 Read-a-thon. You have heard from the majority of the poets on this launch who were able to make it today. 15 poets from all over the world are included in this launch. These are all debut poetry collections. We are so freaking excited to have these authors here. We have the LGBTQ anthology book release, which will be Saturday, July 16th. That is 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is the next big event. We do have the book release for these poets, which I have yet to schedule that date, but it will be most likely in August, July or August. It'll be for the Fierce 15, the book launch, where they will be on hand to sign live the book. So most likely that will be in August. So we're very, very excited to have the book launch coming up. We have Poet Palooza is Sunday, August 7th. That is 2 p.m. Eastern. That is where we invite all of the authors back from Red or Green Books, the original 10, the next 10, the Fierce 15, the Women's Erotic Anthology, the LGBTQ Anthology. All of those folks, we're inviting them back to read. I believe we've secured between 20 and 30 poets already to read. It's a big deal. The list is long and it's awesome. We have a raffle going on between now and Poet Palooza, August 7th. The raffle is for all 15 books. Again, 5 of the authors are from outside the United States. That is, it gets expensive when you start talking about shipping. So a ticket is $5, like $5. Buy a gallon of gas, right? It used to be a cup of coffee. Now it's a gallon of fucking gas. Instead of a gallon of gas, get raffle ticket because you absolutely cannot win if you do not have a ticket. All of the proceeds from this raffle are going to produce more books. They're going to help support the LGBTQ anthology. They're going to help launch the Men's and Them Erotic anthology later this year. We did a raffle for the original 10, and that money went to buy the ISBNs for the next 10, as well as to help fund the anthology projects that we have. So please, please get a raffle ticket. It is going to recirculate within the press. We did not take a single dollar of profit last year. We're not taking any this year. And in a fucking pandemic, that says a lot, I think. So please just support the press that we are putting everything back into books. We will be in New York City, September 10th and 11th. Myself, Shane, Lizzie, S will be there. Terry Rose Jertson will be there. A bunch of other poets are coming up. So excited. We will be on hand at Governor's Island Saturday and Sunday. We have a booth, we have a tent, and we have blocked out 30-minute increments of time throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday. Invited all the poets to schedule their read. Saturday is already booked. Sunday is like a third of the way booked. So if you would like to book your time to come and read and sign books, you need to come and see me. Otherwise, get your ass to Governor's Island, September 10th and 11th. My book, Butterflies and Lies, debuts this summer. I never talk about my books. Like, seriously, I always forget to talk about it. And y'all have sent me reminders. Don't forget to talk about your book. So, okay, I'm talking about my book, Butterflies and Lies. It is a beautiful book. If you have not seen it or had a chance to hear the story behind that, Shane is doing the cover on that as well. It is so exciting. So I met Shane totally by chance in an open mic, and she's quickly become one of my best friends. I think like soulmate friends, because we do well in business and pleasure, and that is always the best of everything. When you can hand someone your life and say, please take care of it, and they do. And so I'm so appreciative of her. I've had a chance to meet her in public. Meet her in person. And I really want to get to North Carolina. Now that we got New York under the belt, right? I really want to come to North Carolina and meet the poets. Yeah, let's go. All right, so do we have the cover ready to go for the LGBTQ anthology? Lizzie Strauss's mother, who is like amazing, by the way. Lizzie's mom is awesome. Like, y'all, she heard my erotica live in New York while she was sitting in the cafe, and she still loves me. So like, I'm so like, thank God, right? Because the moms, it could go one way or the other, right? No, her mother is so loving and supportive. Her family is amazing. And her mother made the suggestion of, why don't we call it Out Loud? And I'm like, out and loud. Fucking let's go. Simple, straight to the point, a woman who's no bullshit. I love it. So Out Loud is the title of the LGBTQ anthology. I'm going to let Lizzie talk a little bit about how it came to life, what it is, the journey to getting this book going. I'm going to let these two ladies show you the cover and do all of that. And then Shane, you have the floor. As much time as you need really to discuss the covers. I've gone through Elizabeth Utz's, Stephanie Eisler Vance's, and Lantern Carriers. I've done those three because those are beyond guerrilla poets. But otherwise, I turn the floor to you. You are both co-hosts. You should be able to share screen. And if you need anything, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marissa. You're one of my favorite people too. I love all of y'all here. It's been a joy working with all of these poets. Each one of them has been so powerful and insightful, and I'm really excited to share the artwork. And thank you for your patience and your grace in sending me love. Y'all had me about to do the ugly cry on the side of the road. Thank you for the videos. It boosts the morale. So thank you for that. Lizzie, I'm going to share my screen, and then if you want to talk about the book, you can. And when you're done, I will just roll through the PowerPoint and I'll showcase the rest of the book covers. But I'll start with the LGBTQIA+1. So
thank you. And thank you for, I'm so happy you're here. I'm sorry you had car trouble, but so happy you're here. Shane, one of my favorite people in the world. So, almost a year ago, and I didn't know Marissa as well. We knew each other from New and a little bit from Word is Right. But I sent her a message saying, I want to talk to you about an anthology. I didn't tell her like specifically what it was. I want to talk to you about anthology of a publishing house. So we had a Zoom meeting, and I said, okay, you know, I'm an LGBTQ person. I want to curate and edit an LGBTQ literary art anthology, not just poetry, but LGBTQ that does not include allies. We love our allies, but this needs to showcase just this part of the community of the world. And we got the ball rolling on this year. We have almost 50 artists and authors in the book from all over the country, one in Denmark. And Pels Zingler, he's wonderful. And it's a beautiful collection of, and it doesn't just have art in it that is about people identifying in the community. It's about them, which is important because we are proud people of the queer community, but it's only one part of our identity. And then Shane and Marissa surprised me and asked if I would put a panku on the cover. So I actually took it from a prose poem I wrote last year called Simply Sexy. And I created some of the lines into a panku, which I'm really honored they put that on the cover, and it's beautiful. And yes, my mom did come up with the title because I have the best mom, and I don't deserve her. And she's an amazing mom. She's cleaning my grandparents' estate out right now. But I want to do something different because I'm holding these two amazing books. I didn't write these books, but it's gay New York and gay and lesbian poetry in our time, and they're amazing, but they don't showcase, you know, what happens after the Q. We have learned so much over the years about gender identity and sexual identity and how we're not limited to just letters and words, and we're constantly evolving. I myself just started using zero as a pronoun. So it's changing. These books are going to save lives. These books and stories are going to tell people they are valued equally and that life gets better and that they need to speak out loud. And if you've been paying attention to what's happened recently, especially in Florida, especially with what's happening for reproductive rights, because next what's going to happen is they're going to try to get rid of same-sex marriage. And we need to have art like this to share. We need to speak our minds. It's a part of protest. And I'm so honored to be publishing everyone in this book of Marissa and Red Green Books and Shane, especially Rusty Rose, who was at Stonewall, who's one of the original activists of the LGBT plus community. And then the cover art is gorgeous. I'm so proud of it. I'm so excited for it to come out in July to be featured at the Poetry Festival here in New York City, where I live. I'm still struck that they asked for my words to be on the cover. That is just, it's really wild to me. Or Oscar Wilde, I don't know. But just thank you to Marissa and Shane and Grill Poets and Urban Books for everything they've done in my life and my journey as an artist. Anything you want to say, Marissa and Shane, about, and there are also other artists here who are part of it. Cynthia Winfield is also in the book, and someone else was here. Hill was here. Hill will also be in Out Loud, and Robert Fleming is also a part of it, and many others.
I think Shockey was here earlier, and Shockey was in there.
Shockey and many other people, you know, from our community and beyond. So really just proud of everyone who submitted and are supporting us. So Marissa and Shane, is there anything else you want to add before we get into the beautiful cover art for our Fierce 15?
I just thank you for coming to us with the idea. You know, when I say things like, if you've never published a book of poetry before, come see me. You know, I open that door, and more often than not, people just, I never hear from people again. I keep a list, an ongoing list, a personal list of mine of poets who've never published, or people who've never done a book, because, you know, I'm like, well, let me check back with them in 6 months and 9 months and a year. They might be in a different place, but who I really believe should be published, which is, of course, many of the Fierce 15 I had on my list last year. And so that's how quickly things can happen. I went to 100 to 150 open mics a month last year. Straight up, no joke. I grinded the fuck out of last year. And the more places I went to, the more I realized we need to do more of this. And Lizzie coming to me saying, I have an idea for an LGBTQ anthology was like, absolutely. It wasn't even like, well, what is it going to be? How long is it going to be? Who's going to do it? How are you going to do it? It was no question. It was like, absolutely, yes. Like kind of even when I was teasing Shane earlier this year, I said, we should do a horror anthology. Yes, fucking yes. Like, I love it. Let's write some horror stuff, right? And do a horror anthology would be fun. Jaw was talking about wanting to do a Black Fathers anthology. I've always wanted to do a Survivors anthology. Like there's so much on the books within, you know, the scope of poetry and art, literary art anthologies, outside of the other stuff that we have at the press, right? That we're going to be getting into probably next year at this point, because I'm still in the process of tracking down grants for our children's books. But there is a lot of things that we're doing at this press. So please, if you have an idea, come and ask and talk to us and say, hey, I have an idea for this. How do we make it happen? We will do our best to collaborate amongst ourselves to make this vision come true. And because of the success of the original 10 and the next 10, the poets before you guys, we are able to launch this anthology. The trickle-down effect of generosity within this community has allowed us to be able to do this without levying loans or high expenses or fees. So we're very blessed in this community. If you have an idea, please reach out to us. I can't say yes to everything, but I will like to say yes to as many things as possible. And Shane is here as well to help us. So you have a team, right? You have a group of people behind you. And to all of the brave people who are in this anthology, thank you, thank you, thank you for being brave enough to put pen to paper and submit to this anthology. Lizzie, I'm so proud and honored to be your friend. Thank you for leading this book. We could not do it without you. Like it would not be here without Elizabeth Strauss. Like it would not. So you are the beating heart beneath the cover of this book. And I thank you for being in my life and for being on this journey. And thank you.
Thank you. I love you too, and everything you do for our community in this publishing house. And there was nowhere else I was going to take this idea, because what I love about Red or Green Books is they publish so many LGBTQ people. If you look at the next 10 and the first 10 and I'm a part of the Touching Tongues Women's Erotic Anthology, in the Fierce 15, there are proud LGBTQ people part of every single one of them. Many people in the Word is Right team are part of that community. People that attend the slams of the Word is Right. So it was an easy decision to send Marissa a message saying yes, and I have an idea, and her just being like, yep, let's do this. And I can't believe it's real. This community saved my life, by the way, the artist poetry community. It's still hitting me, but I can't wait to be celebrating that with everyone in person in New York, and especially all the artists and poets in here and authors that are published for the first time. There are college students published in this book from the New York City Poetry Committee who are professional poets. They're incredible students from NYU, but they come to the New York and Poets Cafe and they say who they are, and I say, please let me publish you in this anthology. And they hit the deadline, and it's just, I'll probably be crying a lot the weekend of the Poetry Festival, but especially because we're all going to be meeting for the first time. But yes, just thank you for believing in me and my art and all of these artists that are in our room and in this book, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. New York City, here we come. It's gonna debut in New York. Oh my God, Lizzie, right? It's so exciting.
I know.
Fucking hell.
It's debuting in my home city. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
let's
Like,
go.
I'm a native New Yorker for 30 years, so it's crazy.
I can't wait for this anthology to debut in New York. And thank you, Shane, so much for the artwork on this, and thanks, Lizzie, for the idea. You guys can put your pre-orders in. You can contact either Elizabeth or myself. You can go to the website redagreenbooks.com. You can contact any of the authors who are in there, and they will be selling author copies as well. I always do. I'm a proponent of buying from the authors, please, so they can make the money. But of course, the press, you know, in order for us to continue to publish more books, we kind of need you to buy some stuff too. So if you want, go to the website redagreenbooks.com. And as soon as Shane sends me this cover art, we will have an icon on the website where you can place your pre-order for that. All right, I'm going to turn the floor over to Shane and have her go through her slideshow of the covers. I'm so freaking excited, you guys. I've only seen probably a third of the covers for this launch. All right, Shane, you got it.
I'm so excited too. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing so I can go back to the beginning. So y'all, so nothing gets like spoiled, right? Okay, so just bear with me here. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. Here we go. Okay. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, don't look at anything yet. Don't look. Okay, here we go. All right, welcome to the book reveal of the Fierce 15. All right, so I'm gonna go through these. I'm not gonna talk a lot because I know y'all been on the Zoom for a hot minute, but I do want to say just some beautiful things that I've enjoyed from doing each one of these, because I feel like each year there's like this really special moment that, I don't know, it's like a little gift, right? That happens between like the creation of the book covers and also the poets who are like stepping into their own power. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll start crying, and I just put this makeup on for y'all. All right, so like but when you are just like getting your work out there, you feel very vulnerable, right? It's like you feel very raw and exposed, and it can be very intimidating. It can be really hard to step into your power and ask for what you want. And I have seen every single one of these poets do just that, and it makes me so freaking proud for them to make sure that their voice and their suggestions were in the creation of these books. And it empowers me. It empowers me to do the same. Like, there are a lot of times where I'll just be like, no, that's fine. You know, like it happened earlier today, y'all. I had a hamburger, and the hamburger came out. The waitress was like, how do you want your hamburger? And I was like, medium rare. And it came out and it was way too pink. And Daniel was like, you gonna say something? I was like, nah, it's okay. I could just cook it at home. Like, you better say something, bitch. You better speak up. And it's just exciting. It's just exciting when we get to co-create these pieces together. And I think that it's an act of stepping into your power, and it's an act of expression that is done in a different way that is extremely beautiful and inspiring. So that, to me, this round was one of the really beautiful things that I was very honored and grateful to bear witness to and cultivate within myself. So I want to shout out all the poets for that. All right, here we go. Terry. Oh my gosh. Terry, when Terry first came to me, I was like, chameleons. I was like, okay. And I was like, oh God, but it might look scary. And then Terry was like, no, I want it to be like in your face. And I was like, oh girl, we could do that, and I really love the colors of this book, and it reminds me, I love the fade in the background is also something that I love. I just love the way that this came together with the colors and it being able to really come across as something that is wild and fierce, but not so much that if I was walking in a bookstore and I saw this, I would want to pick this up and see what this is about. It's not something that would be off-putting to me. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love the mystery and the intrigue but also like the way it it's showcasing what it is too, but there's like this mysteriousness to it that I love. And that's one of the things that I love about Terry's book. And Terry has been great to work with. All of them, all of the poets have been. We're moving on to S's. Oh, this cover is one of my favorites too. Again, like all these colors, like the colors of all of the covers came out so awesome. And I really love how this one has like a strength to it, but also like a femininity too, you know? And I think that's because of the watercolor and the blues, but then you've got those really beautiful golds as well. And I just love the metaphoric concept of this cover too, of the fact that it's like loose change. It's like, it makes you think of wishing well and like all these things that are falling away. And it's weird because it's not, you would think that there is a sadness to it, but there's also this sense of rejuvenation and this letting go that's really beautiful about this cover as well. And everything in this flows. There's a very fluid feel to it, like with the hair, the way the hair is draped, with the way the gold flakes are, and with the way that the change is falling out of the eyes. And then even like with the wash in the background, everything is very fluid, which I thought was really beautiful about this piece. There's a grace to it that I think also speaks to the poet. And that's what's really cool about getting to do the artwork, is once you get to know the poet a little bit more, their personality starts to come through the art piece, because that's like, I do see Terry as this like wild, like fierce woman. I do see as this like strong but graceful woman. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what's really cool, is that as you go along the process, like the personality starts to come through the artwork, and it's eerie, but it's also beautiful. It's like I'm channeling like channeling the poet. This is really cool. Not to be too woo-woo with everybody, but it does feel very much like there's a connection on a deeper level happening there that's really awesome. All right, Gary, man, oh my gosh. This has been a fun one. This is another one where I was like, what do you want? And I was like, whoo, I don't know if I could put all that on a cover. But as I did it and it came together, I was like, oh no, this is perfect. And I sent it to him, and Gary's response was so amazing. Like, I want a plushie of Gary. I want like a stuffed animal of Gary, and I just want to carry it around with me to open mics. That needs to be our mascot. Like, we need a plushie of Gary. His response was so amazing. But I think symbolism in his was really interesting to play with. And I actually had to do some research on certain things that he wanted me to look up. And I found myself like getting immersed in some history that, I mean, it got really intense, you know, and I'm thankful for that. So I got to learn some stuff by doing his cover as well, which was really powerful and interesting. So, I mean, immediately, okay, we're going to be getting into some social justice. We're going to be getting into some politics. We're going to be getting into like some serious issues that he's addressing, but there's a connection to, we've got Big Ben, and then we've got, the White House, like, that there are things happening in the UK that happen here. And Guerrilla Poets has a UK branch. And so this was really beautiful for me to work on too, because they say that a lot. Like, a lot of the racism and the things that we face here are things that they are still dealing with over there as well, across the pond. So that was really a treat for me to be able to lean into that. So not, it's not a treat that it's happening, but it was a treat for me to address it and get to be a part of expressing what's happening. I love Hills. So this is Hills. And I'm really a big fan of texture and ripped paper. And so as soon as Hill was like, this is my idea because this is what my brain is like, I was like, got you, yes. And I seriously thought Hill was going to be like, oh, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. And Hill was like, this is perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, okay. So but I love this one because of the textures and the layers. And I think every poet has a drawer in their house that looks like this, or they have at some point they have wrote a line down on a napkin or on a cigarette box or whatever, you know, and they're like, God, I gotta hold on to this because this is a poem I gotta write later, you know. And then 2 days later or 2 weeks later, you go to pull, you find the note and you're like, what the hell was I even talking about? Like, I have no idea what I was saying. And I just think that the cover really speaks to that, and how you're trying to hold on to these things that in the moment feel so epic. And then later on, you're like, what? And I think it really speaks to being a poet, because we're always trying to capture that moment, you know? So I love it. Oh, Kilmas. Okay. So this one came out great as well. This cover is also beautiful and striking. This I went through some changes as well. I actually did paint this cover, and I am going to send it to her. But we ended up wanting to go with a photo because of just the photo in the background. First of all, you know, you've got the photo in the background, so it makes sense to have a photo in the front. But we merged two photos together. And at first we had cracks going down the middle, and then it was like, oh, that's a little too like brokenish. Let's like put some light in there. And then we put light in there, and it was like, why don't we just take the cracks away? And sometimes, y'all, less is more. And I think that this cover really speaks to that, because it is a striking cover. And I love the title of it as well. It's like immediately you're like, oh, okay, like what's she been through? Like somebody has said something to her at some point, you know, and there's a story there. And I think the bravery of putting her face on the front is also hella empowering, really, really empowering. And I think that it was a bold move that definitely is going to pay off. And the cool thing about this, y'all, is the more things you do like this for yourself, have a book release party. I had a whole photo shoot for Road Hunger. I got dressed up looking like I live in the trailer park. I got false eyelashes and everything. And I went out and I literally took photos next to the train tracks. Okay. Because my thing was like biker mama kind of vibe. Right. And I had a blast. Y'all celebrate yourselves and do things like this, because the more you do it, the more power moves you're going to make, because it plants the seed in your subconscious that you're worth it. And you are worth it. Okay. So I feel like this cover like embodies that, of like, no, this is my story. I'm about to tell you about it. And I love that about it. Okay. Lizzie's. This one's so much fun. Yes, Lizzie is naked. Okay. But you know, you don't see anything. All right. You may want to, but you don't get to. Okay. So this one is so much fun. I really think it speaks to Lizzie's personality as well, because Lizzie, you know, is known as Deadpan Lizzie, and it's very straightforward. She's very straightforward. Straightforward. She's very she's very forward, right? Like she lays it out on the table, a lot like being naked, you know. But like her personality is so fun, and that's why like these colors are happening. That's why these shapes are in the background. You know, she's got the book in her lap. You know, all of these things are like really speak to Lizzie's personality. And if you spend enough time with her, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna have a good time. She feels good to be around, you know. And I just wanted to capture that fun vibe along with the seriousness of her. So, and that's how this came about. I also wanted to do like this really cool like watercolor wash of color that's within, it's called stylized is what this is, where you have the shapes, but it's just blocked color. So there's not really a lot of shading, but I wanted her to be shaded to show kind of that energy radiating from her. So yeah, I love this cover. It's so much fun, and they all look different, you know, which is awesome. Eddie. So this was another one that went through a lot of changes, and Eddie reminds me out of somebody out of a movie. Like he's just got so much class, and like he's just so iconic. Like, and his cover it's simple, but it's iconic. It looks like it would be a poster in a coffee house. And when me and Eddie first talked, like that's what he wanted it to be stylized looks like a poster. He actually has in the Zoom meeting behind him was like a poster that looked like this cover, like similar to it, right? So the cover has gone through some changes, but I really love how it came out. It's very Art Deco-ish, early Art Deco. So not like, Art Deco if you know anything about art history, not later on where everything got like all crazy and there was like lines going everywhere, but early Art Deco is very simple. Blocks of color, and you've also got you've got blocks of graphic color, but you also have textures, which you see the wood grain. So they're layered on top of each other. So that's that style. And yeah, and I really think it speaks to Eddie's personality too. He's very iconic and very classy. Man's got class. Marissa, we get some Marissas. So Marissa's has gone through a lot of changes too, but I am in love with how it came out. So originally we had a woman that was in the down right hand corner, and it just like the mouth was not coming out the way we wanted it to come out. And then it was just like, do we even need the woman anymore? Like, let's just get rid of the woman, right? And I just love the concept that these butterflies are coming out of the poetry, right? And then they're turning into like these beautiful butterflies, and then they're kind of like, I mean, the splatters behind kind of look like it's like, I don't know, resolution, right? To me, that's what it speaks, is that, okay, this is the journey. And then this is how we're going to move beyond it, which I think is beautiful. I love the font. It's so much, it's fun, but it's still like, if I was feeling petty, I'm just going to be real. If I was feeling petty about some ish, and I walked into a store and I saw this, I'd be like, oh, bitch, I know exactly how this feels. Butterflies and lies. Oh, you better say his name. Like, I know, and I would pick this up immediately. I think anybody that has gone through any relationship that they have felt betrayal is going to immediately know from this cover, like, oh, that's for me, But I love like the color, just the black background, that contrast between the pop of the butterflies and then the black is just beautiful to me. And the motion, like there's so much motion in this cover. Like your eye immediately goes from the paper up through the butterflies to the title and then off the page. Like that's a beautiful eye motion to go through when it comes to the layout of a book. So really, really pleased with how this came out as well. I do every day. So this one was actually really hella hard, y'all, because there was like 3 to 4 different versions and we loved all of them. And we were like, well, we don't know which ones to choose. And he was like, well, which one do you like? And I was like, I like all of them too. Like, so there was like a whole voting process. So he went and asked his family. And then I also asked my friends here. Okay. So, so there was voting going on in different houses, and inevitably this one won. And the one thing that I love about this is that it's really hard to mesh real images with graphic elements, right? Which are like Illustrator elements. But this one does it very well. I also love the font. I think it's kind of romantic and fancy. It looks like a font that would be on a wedding invitation. I love the couple. The couple came out great, and I love this like lace type of graphic behind them, and that gold symbolizing forever, which just came out so good. Super, super happy with the way this one came out. It's super sweet, romantic, and yeah, and I love the concept of the book too. It was really cool. All right, we get to Christy. So Christy's gone through a lot as well, but I really love how it came out as well. I love the concept of elements. I'm a big elements person myself, and I actually have some poems about each of the elements and everything. So I was thrilled when this ended up being the title of the book, and that we were going to play with the concept with the cover. I just think it's really spiritual. I think that it also speaks to Christy's personality as well. And it was so funny because I've tried to make it really, really colorful and like had all these like like real element images and everything. And Chrissy's like, can we try symbols? And I was like, yep, that's you. Yep, you. So but I love the cover. I love how it came out. I love the symbols, how the symbols came out. And I love the globe as well. I love how the globe has this like hand-drawn look to it, and then you've got the rainbow of the infinity symbol as well, which I think is really beautiful. So I am in love with the universe background. I love it so much, and I'm so glad that we went that route to do the universe as the background. I could stare at this cover for like hours like that because I just love the night sky and things like that. So yeah, super happy with the way Christie's came out. All right. Whew. We get to Marine. So this one has gone through some changes, but whoo, man, was it worth it? So Marine doesn't know this, but people tried to buy this piece. Like as I was trying to draw it, they tried to buy it. And I was like, no, this is not yours. This is a poet that I've been commissioned to do. You cannot buy this. So Maureen, I'm just letting you know, if you want, when you receive the artwork, because everyone gets their original art, I'm going to be sending it to you. If it was drawn or painted, you'll get the art. Girl, sell it, make you money, you know. You can make copies, sell the prints, you know. I ain't gonna hate on you, just do what you, because listen, they were trying to buy it, so that was legit happening. But I love this one because it's very, it speaks to a lot of the things that the book is about, and also that she stands for. A huge animal rights, human rights activist, and just the power in this image is incredible. Just with the forest fire and the hands and the animals and even the fish. And I love, one of the things that was really beautiful about doing this cover is she told me that she wants to see the eyes of the animals. And like, I'm going to start crying if I talk too much about it, but that to me is so powerful. And the fact that she thought about that so that people could look into the faces of these animals, y'all, I'm sorry, is really, really powerful. So really thankful for the journey that we have been on to do this book cover, because I think it's important. And I think that little things like that, they matter, and those little things can really cause like an impact that you might not be aware of, you know. So it has been beautiful.
Y'all should do a stamp of your cover, like a stamp, and you can stamp when you sign your books, you stamp the stamp. Like, Shane, this is stunning.
Yeah, it came out really
wow.
good.
Maureen, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you could seriously put this on shirts and like raise money for any causes that you want to do. Like, people would buy this shirt, like, I'm serious. So think about that. You have my permission, like, for real. Like, is this being recorded? Like, you have my permission. You can, if you want to make shirts out of this, you can, and raise money for any rights that you want to raise money for.
And please be like, I realize Shane is giving you the artwork, right, and all of that, but please, let's make sure that we include her in the celebration of the artwork, that you're tagging the artist. You know, not only is she doing this, I mean, she's commissioned to do this artwork, but she's giving you the artwork, the physical artwork that she's doing. So please, 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 when you share things online, when you do stuff with your artwork, please, please, please tag her. Tag Shane, tag Guerrilla Poets, tag the press if you want to, but please just give her the credit, because this, I'll tell you, I know, Shane, this did not happen without all of her soul and love being poured into every single piece. So just tag her, please, and support her so she can continue to bless others.
No, thank you, Marissa. All right, Patties. Ugh. again, so I feel like I grew a lot in this round of poets because I started playing with the real images with the artwork, and Patty's is no exception to that. It's gorgeous. I love that, like real rain, like meshing into the artwork. I just love it. And Patty's was another one where there was a moment where we were like, are we going to change the cover? And I was like, just sit with it overnight. And I'm so glad she did, because this is again one of my favorite book covers. It's iconic. It's just iconic. Like the woman in the raincoat. It reminds me, y'all, it really kind of reminds me of like those epic scenes where like the lady's waiting on the taxi and the taxi pulls up and she gets into the taxi and the guy's like, where to, miss? And she's like, just drive. That's that's what it reminds me of. So it's that like that gothic romance, right? It's like you can tell that there is pain, but there's like beauty in this, and there's mystery because you can't see the face, and it's like what's gonna happen when she gets in the cab, like what's gonna, like immediately the cover is like telling all of this, and it's so simple. It's so simple. It's just a woman in a raincoat, and this is like the cool blues and the darkness with that yellow popping. It's just, I love it. I'm in love with it. It also kind of to me has like 80s 90s vibes, and if you can't tell, I'm like 80s 90s vibe. Okay. Like, but I think it also speaks to like Patty's personality, from what I have seen, is there is like this like kind of like, I don't know Patty very well, but there is this kind of like, I don't know, there's this like mysterious like storm inside that's also like got a lot of light and lightning, and I don't know, it's just, again, like the personality starts to seep through the covers, which is just really, it's become really beautiful for me to witness that. So I'm in love with this cover. I think it came out so good. All right, we get to the Urban Cowboy Poet. Now his is not complete yet, but I wanted to put it on here. So it's not done. I'm painting it actually tonight and tomorrow.
God, I love it. Look, he's
Yes.
on, you guys. Come on. Woo.
So it's not done yet. It's not done yet, but this is what we have. So this is the sketch.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just thrilled to do this. Like, for those that don't know, my dad named me Shane after the cowboy movie Shane. So I actually have poems about it. I actually have poems about the movie and me being named after the movie and everything. And so when I was like, urban cowboy poet, yes, and told in the old cowboy style tales, oh, I am here for this. So I'm really excited to get to work on his book. So, but yeah, this is it. I'm coloring it in tonight and tomorrow. So.
Thank you, Shane. I can't wait to see it in color.
Yes.
When you have a vision, it's hard to describe to somebody else, and you put my vision into art, and you did it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just like, I'm honored to be a part of all of it, y'all. So yeah, I'm excited to see this in color. So stay tuned for it. It's coming. It's coming. All right. And then we get to Out Loud. Yeah, y'all. So this was interesting because just the layout. I don't know if you noticed the glitter. Okay, I didn't mention this before, but so in me and Marissa have these little heart glitter things, and what this came from a teen organization that I work for called Playing for Others. And they gave us these so that on Zoom we could show love to the teens. Well, I started doing it at open mics, and then Marissa started doing it, and now it's just a thing where we have glitter hearts and everything. I was like, well, I gotta put the glitter heart in there. And we hit poets when they do really like amazing poems. We hit them with the glitter heart, and I was like, make me hit you. And it's just fun, and I love it. And I was like, I gotta put the glitter heart in there. Of course, rainbows, right? But also, Lizzie's beautiful poem. And then we have the ring that has like the heart shadow, which is really beautiful. And it was really funny because I was like, I don't know where the hell I'm going to get a ring, because I went through one bad marriage. I did not keep no ring. first one's always practice. But but I did actually, I found a mood ring, and y'all can't see, but on the mood ring, it actually says luck. It says good luck on it. So I don't know. I thought that was really sweet. Like, it's wishing good luck to all the poets. And I just thought that was beautiful. And shout out to Marissa laid this out. Okay. Like, we legit were like on a Zoom, and I've like flipped my phone around, and I was like, okay, where should I position? Because I was like struggling to know like where to put things. And so Marissa, like, this was co-created between me and Marissa. And it was so funny because Lizzie, every version I sent, Lizzie was like, it's approved. Yeah. And Marissa was like, well, it's a start. But it came out really good with the positioning and everything. Yeah, I have tons of photos of just different layouts of like how to lay this out. But that was fun too, right? So I got to practice some photography skills, and I mean, I don't know, I just love every year. It's like I grow, I learn new things. Next year, I'm totally going to have a form so that people can fill out what fonts they like, because that was another thing I'm realizing as I go through this journey is, oh, it'll be so much easier right out the gate if I just know which fonts like poets prefer. So putting together like a sample packet for them will be awesome. So thank y'all for working with me. Like, this has been beautiful, and everybody has been so nice. Like y'all, these are the sweetest group of poets, like powerful and sweet and considerate and just beautiful human beings that I have had the privilege of working with in a long time. So I'm so grateful for the energy that y'all have brought. Every single email, I felt love, I felt encouragement. I never once did I feel like there was, I don't know, like it was difficult. It never felt, you know what I mean? Like there's the time crunch, but I didn't feel like, oh God, you know what I mean? And that was beautiful. So yeah, y'all, thank you for having me. I'm so just grateful to be the artiste.
Let's go. So Shane, do you want to talk a little bit about Guerrilla Poets, about what you do, what Guerrilla Poets does? I encourage everyone to go look up Guerrilla Poets, Instagram, Facebook, online Guerrilla Poets. Go find them. They do workshops all the time. But yes, please talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'll start off with what I do personally. So I'm a creative coach. So usually people come to me when they want to release their book, and then I send them to Marissa. But I am a creative coach. So if you want to do this full time, I help creatives do this full time. I'm very honored to be. This is my 5th year going into 6 years of entrepreneurism, doing what I love for a living, and it's incredible. I feel lied to. If I wish people would have told me when I was younger that this is possible. But I do. I help creatives workshop. Right now I'm working with a spiritual coach who is taking 12 videos that they have done, and I'm collecting the information from those videos and putting it into a workbook for her to sell to her clients. So things like that. I curate. If you're like, I would love to do workshops, but I don't know what I'm sitting on, you would send me what you have, and I would go, here's 6 workshops you can do right now, and I'll lay it all out for you. So a lot of creatives have difficulty doing executive functions like planning, scheduling, getting yeah, exactly. Like they have a dream, but like, how do you go from like point A to point B? Well, I'm your sledgehammer. I make that happen. So I do your schedule. I've done creative schedules before, and I just knock it out for you so you can make quick, informed decisions and go get what you came for, But I'm also a poetry mentor. So I also mentor poets, and I work on sensory work with the body so that you have a constant flow of inspiration. I also help them with their craft as well. And then also I do poetry and spoken word performances, and I also do live art as well. So I do live painting. And then there's the nonprofit, which is Guerrilla Poets. And we do music, art, poetry workshops in school systems and shelters and lockdown facilities and crisis centers. We're everywhere. And we have a lot of stuff online as well right now. So definitely go check out our page. And yeah, all of our stuff is free. We just released an anthology. It's not beside me right now, but you'll see it on the page. But we do a lot in the community, and it's because we believe that, you know, the arts save lives, because we've seen it. We've seen it, you know, and when you share your story, you have the potential of saving someone's life too. And that's literally why I started. Real quick, I'll tell you how Guerrilla Poets got started, and then we'll call it a day. But I was in a coffee shop and I read a poem called Sitting Beside Death on the Fence with a Pack of Cigarettes. And an elderly man came in and he was at the counter. And when I got through my poem, he walked up to me, threw his arms around me and started crying. And he said, I didn't even know there was poetry tonight. I just came in to get something to eat. I was going to go home and kill myself. And he said, because I heard that poem, I want you to know I'm not going to. And he stayed in touch with us for, you know, a while after that. And the very next day I started, I put the call out to see like who would be interested in starting Guerrilla Poets with me. And we started as a flash mob group of poets. So we would go into like Walmart, we'd go into Best Buy. Back when mills were a thing, we would wait for the mill workers to get off work and we would be outside doing poems as they got off work. We've done it on trains, all over, because people who are here in this Zoom, they know the power of poetry. But a mill worker who is just getting off from his job and he's done worked himself to death and he's still worried about paying the bills for his family, and he's feeling like maybe his wife's going to leave him or who knows what's going on with him, right? And he's a man and he can't cry and he can't, you know, he can't express his frustrations. He's not going to go to a poetry event. So we got to go to them. We have to bring poetry back to the people. So we did that for years. And then when we started getting into school systems, we were like, oh crap, we can't get arrested because then they won't let us into the school. So now, like if we do flash mob, which we just did for 2 festivals, we make sure that we get permission first, just so, you know, we don't end up arrested, because it sucks to be arrested. It also sucks to be pepper sprayed. It's not fun. I do not recommend it. Tear gas sucks too. I don't recommend that as well. And you're not going to really help a lot of people if you're laying on the ground crying. Okay, so just be safe. If you are inspired to go do poetry in the masses, just know there's a better way. Okay, all right. But thank y'all, and thank you, Marissa.
Oh my God, let's go, you guys. Can everyone just unmute for a moment and give Shane a huge round of applause for her contribution to this launch?
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Loved it.
Sing Shane. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. When I saw that picture of the blown out tire, I was like, you guys, we got to do a video, because you know, she just needs to know that we're here and we're cheering her on. And if she doesn't make it, we're still gonna do it. But she doesn't have to do it alone. And yes, so I'm so glad that everyone was able to be part of that. And we do love you. And yeah, I hope that she changes your life as much as she has changed mine. And all I can do is continue to pay it forward. I just yeah, your life will change that quick. And I think being in the presence of any one of the people in this room will change your life. So I do hope you're open to that. If you are interested in publishing a book, please reach out to us and let us know. If you are interested in Guerrilla Poets and their work, The Word is Right, and the shows that we have there, please go and check out our pages, Facebook, Instagram. If you have not been to the website yet, please do so. redagreenbooks.com. I literally just put up the LGBTQ anthology so that the cover art is up there, and you can pre-order your book on the website now. So we can, we'll definitely get your pre-order in. If you're outside the US, please reach out to us. Let us know. We will get you a price for shipping. Otherwise, like, just thank you Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it's a Sunday. We've been on here a while now today. I thank all of the Fierce 15 who came through and read. One of the biggest things that I have received as far as feedback is that, Shane, you are very welcoming, you're very warm, you make people feel safe. And what I do tell them, I tell all the authors in the beginning, I say, speak up, advocate for your vision. If you don't like something, say it, you don't like it. If you do like something, say you like it, but be honest, because you will deliver what they want within your power, and without judgment and without any sort of negativity. And so I'm so glad to hear that the poets have been doing that, that they have been giving you honest feedback, and that they feel so very, very safe in your care. The covers are stunning. They're mind-blowing. Oh my God. Yes. So let's go. Thank you everyone for being here today. I look forward to seeing everyone. The book launch has a to be determined date for the Fierce 15 as far as signing. I have a feeling that will be after Poet Palooza. So because now we do have some poets who are a little bit behind the target date to go to print, which is fine, but I do want to make sure that the book release party, the poets are able to sign their books online right here on camera for you, so you can order during the show and then we'll sign you a book. But otherwise, I will see everyone. Where's my notes? I will see everyone Saturday, July 16th for the LGBTQ anthology Out Loud. That is the book release party, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Zoom is already up on the poster, as well as the event page. I think there's a poster. If not, there's an event page. I'll have to look. Poet Palooza is Sunday, August 7th, 2 p.m. Eastern. That is the anniversary show that we do annually, inviting everyone back to read. The raffle is going on. If you have not got your raffle ticket yet, please do so. We will be in New York City in September. And of course, thank you all so much. Thank you, Lizzie, for your contribution to Out Loud. Thank you, Shane, for your artistic contribution to the poets tonight on this launch. If anyone needs anything, please reach out to me, Marissa at readagreenbooks.com. Read is R-E-A-D. Facebook, Instagram, readagreenbooks.com is the website. Thank you all of the poets who are here. Thank you so much, Shane Mayer with Guerrilla Poets. Let's keep kicking ass. Let's keep taking names. Let's keep taking adversity and shove it up adversity's ass, because like it only makes us stronger, right? And yeah, I love you all so very much. I'm blessed and humbled to be on this journey. Energy from me to you. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you all next time. Bye.